Hey, hello and welcome everybody. Today is September 11th, a terrible day in America. A lot of terrible things happened today not too long ago, back in 2001. And I've got my flag up at half staff, but we're here to talk about 3D printing and all the cool stuff. So yeah, let's bring everybody in. I've got three people in the background. I've shared my link there. We're live on YouTube and on my Facebook group and my Facebook page. So you're welcome to join in, come on screen, talk about what you're working on. And here, let's pull some people in. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Hey, yeah, I'm pretty good. How's everybody?
Howdy. How's it going?
Good. You?
Oh, pretty good.
Two of the three musketeers are here. All we need now is Kieran.
Hey, Kieran, hello. Betty Boot, 45, how you doing? You go down through. And Michael Castle, Andrew S., hello. Stephen Poole, hello. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Yesterday I was running OBS. I haven't ran it in like 3 or 4 years, all by itself, standalone. And I was trying to get my mic working, but about 12 or 15 minutes into the video, I finally got it figured out, trying to get scenes set up. I'm currently running in 1080p. I'm on a free trial running 1080p right now for like 5 more days, and I go revert back to 720p. So anyway, hey, Karen, how you doing?
Oh, Liam looked lonely, so.
So yeah, now we have Curly, Larry, and Mo, the Three Stooges.
Hey, Dominic.
That's his normal look, Karen. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I've got my focus printer there and a little screen up there. I'm printing a skull that's pouring out a red liquid, basically, where it's suspended in midair. Instead of the coffee cup one, it's like a skull, and that's the red bits of it there. So, seems to be working fine.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice little machine. My extruder died on that last night. I've been using it really heavily, so I'm gonna have to do a bit of troubleshooting on it tomorrow to see if it's the stepper motor that's dead or the stepper chip or whatever. So I'll look at it tomorrow.
All right, the head just doesn't move, or it doesn't move?
No, it doesn't extrude.
Oh.
And you don't even feel it moving at all. It's not even trying to move. So it's either the stepper chip is gone on the board, or the stepper motor is kaput. So,
hey Jeff, how you doing? Andrew Osmond, hello.
It's been busy for months, though. It's been really busy for months.
Yeah.
So the fact that it actually lasted this long was good.
I've only had 1 or 2 steppers on a CR10 go out on me, and typically they never go bad. Typically, I was having a lot of issues, and I took the power off, and I could spin it in my hand, and it was like crunch, crunch, crunch.
Oh,
having issues.
Yeah, that's the electronics is burnt out inside, yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't taken this one apart yet. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I don't have time today. I'm only on for a small while today because I have an astronomy event with my club tonight.
Okay.
Hopefully, the skies look like they're going to be good, but hopefully we can be able to see through the smoke. Because right now the smoke is pretty bad in the upper atmosphere. So
From the fires, right?
From the fires out west, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Kenneth, how you doing?
So, should be fun.
What's new, Matt? Kieran, Jason, what are you guys working on? Anything?
Toys for tots. I just cleaned off. Yeah, no, I just cleaned off a bunch of stuff from the bed, and I didn't start anything new before jumping on here. But let's see, you can kind of see some of them poking out of the top of that box is getting full. Yeah, so.
Your room looks nice and tidy, not messed up.
Is that frame electrified to keep small hands out, is it?
Not yet.
He's going to buy a pit bull tomorrow and sit it right in front of the corner.
It's okay. It's okay until the toys start poking out and they're visible. Yeah. What's that? What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you dipped out in all the filament. I see Liam scored all the free filament to continue his progression for the Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
Was a good
That was
idea,
good.
Liam, huh?
That was good.
I was able to get some though. I had some people give me some. So
I got some in from ZYLTECH this morning.
Did you say you don't celebrate Christmas, or are you joking?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah, I thought the other day you said something about we don't celebrate Christmas, or you were just kidding.
No, it's
Fat
Christmas
chance of
every
that
day
happening.
here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say if you would have said, yeah, we don't, I got a button for that, but I can't hit it.
In that case, say it, Jason. Say it.
Just for
Christmas. Boo.
Nope, that ain't it. It's this one. There it is. Anyway.
Change Jason's name to the Scrooge.
Grinch. The Grinch.
The
Grinch.
Grinchy
Yeah.
Scrooge.
Why you do not like Christmas? I mean, how dare you? I thought so
Right.
highly of you.
Yeah, they celebrate it all over the world, even if it's not in their.
Wait till your
religion.
daughter finds out.
Can you,
That's-
Matt? Can you move that Santa Claus lamp? It's offending me.
Just wait till Jason's daughter finds out that Christmas actually comes 3 times a year, not once a year, and she'd be really disappointed.
Oh,
I
nice.
wish it was only 3 times a year.
Here you go.
I'm blind. I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Merry
Product-
Christmas.
Once again, Matt ruins the stream with product
Oh, I
placement.
forgot. I
advertising.
was going to start.
Right?
I was going to start my stream out differently. I was going to be doing this, and I didn't do it.
You know, a rotary phone.
Hello. Are we live? Oh, we're good? Okay. I forgot I was going to do that on my stream today. Yeah. I dug it out of the garage and cleaned it off, an old rotary. So you youngins out there, back before cell phones and cordless phones, this is what we had. So
Yeah.
they hung on
If
the
you-
wall.
Well,
You had them in the living
At
room.
least you're not winding the hand generator to actually activate the bell of the
And
exchange.
if there's a
which makes
contest
big
on the
difference.
radio, you're sitting there dialing really fast, trying to be the right caller, you know? So,
Well, you used to dial the 6 numbers in and wait so you could just do the one last number when it was time.
and then time and temperature used to be 118 here in America. At least I think it was everywhere. It was in Vegas. Dial 118 and they give you the time and temperature. So
You know,
anyway,
it's on those old phones. If you want to bypass and not get charged from your bill on the old analog exchange systems, where the receiver goes on the button, if you tap out the number there really fast, you can actually make a call and you don't get charged for it.
Mhm.
But you can't do that now with the digital exchanges, but with the old analog exchanges, that used to work.
Are
You
you
could do
implying
that too
you used to
with
get
a-
free phone calls, Liam?
When I was young and stupid, yes. Now
And
I'm
then-
old
yeah.
and senile.
and then when they went from,
Such a rebel.
So
I knew.
nothing's changed. Nothing's
then when
changed.
they went from dial the push button, my mom would be on the phone. The radio's up here for the contest on her country station. She's sitting there doing this, trying to get in really fast, and then hit redial, and you know. Anyway, interesting days.
Oh, do you remember when we used to have to turn around and take the phone off and put it onto a modem and put a strap over it to dial out with our computer?
No,
I do.
Yep.
I have my original modem was a 1200 baud. I was plugged into the phone, the wall.
I know. I had a 9600,
The original.
which you had
The
to take the
original.
headphone off and put it onto the unit and put a strap over it to hold it in place to make the dial out. And you could hear it because it was actually sitting on. You could actually hear the computer, the electronic.
And when the rubber cushions used to break down and it leaked sound when you put it on your sockets, oh, that was bad.
Yeah, but you'd be trying to do something and be screeching in your ear.
Yeah,
while you're using
screeching
it.
Yeah.
because he's not quite on the rubber
Yeah.
sockets.
I've used those. Hell, man, I've used reel to reel.
Mhm.
I've
And
used
then,
punch cards actually. I've used punch cards.
I started this yesterday. I printed
You're
this
the only
out.
one, Liam, I'm afraid.
Red PLA from Focus on their Focus printer. I got this off the Prusa website to put SD cards and things like that in it. So I printed
That's
this
a nice
out.
color.
And
Yeah,
then
it's nice deep red.
And then I done a little red benchy this morning that actually printed fairly fast. So I think rather than doing the shade, whatever his name is, I should have done the
Yeah.
benchy.
You
Yeah.
know his name. Don't pretend.
Shia LaBeouf or Shia LaBeouf or
Shia, yeah.
Shia. Okay. Anyway.
Moving
little
right along.
benchy.
It's the same guy that's on the poster in your other room.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the ceiling. On the ceiling, yeah.
We know you're.
That's a scary thought. That's a real scary.
Yeah, and
Only because it's true.
but I've used punch cards as well. I have some really old punch cards lying around there.
You got
Wow.
a box of them buried somewhere. A clean one somewhere.
An acoustic coupler, yeah. Shia the bus. You have so much fun with that name. But yeah, actually, I've seen the original computer system used for the Saturn V launches at Kennedy. They still have that computer down there, the old IBM system.
Mainframe, yeah, the big
Yeah.
mainframe.
Yeah, it took over a whole room. Now your cell phone can do it.
The Anycubic Viper that I picked up, that was a return going back to Anycubic that I'm going to fix up and get it running and do some videos on it. They have a new revolutionary thing they came out with, which is a joke. Anti-backlash nuts. It's a plastic gizmo. It has a plastic tab on each side of this that broke off. There's a company in Germany that sells replacements. So rather than go through all that, buy something that's going to break again because it's plastic. I got on Amazon, ordered a couple brass anti-backlash nuts that won't break, and they'll work fine, and they'll be here sometime today. So anyway.
There's a spring. There's a mechanic actually. Yeah, good spring between
it's got
them.
a spring inside of it. This goes on the top. This goes on your lead screw. Yep. And it compresses and locks into it. But when I got the printer from this man, both of these were broke, the tabs.
No surprise.
And it's plastic. So,
something must have happened, because I mean, those things don't just break. And I've found the plastic ones to actually work a lot better and last a lot longer than the brass ones.
You've seen this before then? You've seen this before then, Jason?
Not that particular style, but but plastic anti-backlash, they're on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like conventional ones that they're slotted. Well, this isn't like that. It's,
No, but what I'm saying is, I mean, the way they're mounted with your Z lead screw through it, they shouldn't, and being bolted, they shouldn't twist and snap off unless you've done something to the computer, dropped it off a table.
Dropped it or knocked it, or it might be broken shipping.
Yeah, I don't know how it got damaged, but I don't want to order a couple from Germany and then pay all the extra shipping, wait forever, and then I get them, and then they might break again in a matter of months or whatever. How they broke, I don't know. But I'll just put brass ones back on it. Huh?
Model it and print it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put brass ones back on it. So
I prefer the brass myself.
Yeah, then you gotta lubricate them, and they bind. I don't like the brass.
I haven't found it to ever bind on me, because brass material itself kind of naturally is a natural lubricant anyway. The way it works.
Metal is a natural lubricator.
Well, I mean, it doesn't.
Well, Ike, I gotta believe you.
It doesn't get stiction like steel on steel will, right? They don't bind as well like steel on steel will. Brass won't do that.
It's that air gap, Jason. You see, it lubricates it naturally.
It's it's oxygen lubricated.
But I use PTFE anyway. The dry PTFE.
That's just wrong. Sorry, Jerry. That's just wrong on so many levels.
Of what Jerry's doing, yeah. But that's what I do. But I use dry PTFE to lube everything anyway, and it lasts a long time.
Yeah. I mean, you still have to put a little something on plastic. It's, I know I hear it all the time. Oh, POM is naturally lubricating or self-lubricating. No, it's not. It's not. Look at the spec sheet. Look at the data. Call the people that manufacture it. They'll tell you, no.
It's not.
It is very smooth. It's not exactly the same as a Teflon material either. But it is pretty good.
And you see people using WD-40. You do not use WD-40 to lube stuff.
No, not unless it's dry PTFE made by WD-40. That's okay.
Yeah, because WD-40 is designed as a water repellent. It is not a lubricant, really.
No.
It was designed.
And it's aggressive.
Yeah, and that's what it stands for, right? WD-40 is a water repellent. Mm-hmm. That's what it was designed for.
Yeah. Water deterrent.
Yeah, that was his whole. That's why it came up. It's but a lot of people do that. I think what really works, you can get the PTFE in alcohol as well. That you shake up the bottle and you put a few drops on it, and then the alcohol evaporates and leaves PTFE behind the powder. That works for you. People use it on like bicycle chains and stuff. That works great as well.
I know if you got a stuck bolt or something on your vehicle, WD-40 is completely worthless by penetrating oil, and it will get in there and pre it right up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't use PTFE, like dry PTFE or any PTFE lubricant on linear rails, though. That's, even the manufacturers tell you don't do it. So if you look at LDO's written documentation, they say do not put any lubricant that has stuff in it, particles in it, because it builds up within the bearings.
So
even though they're smooth.
What do they use, in a grease or an oil?
Machine oil.
Okay.
Yeah. Or just like regular oil.
I just seen your comment up above.
Sewing machine oil.
3-in-1. Yeah.
Here we go. I got a button
Something
for that. Ibotics.
Cool.
Hopefully it's all good and back working again.
Yeah,
Well-
when I first logged in, my mic wasn't working on Matt Soup, so I had to go into StreamYard and fix that. But yeah, I've got all my buttons working right now, so I can switch to. There's my other room, and
Because you're using
Monitor.
the OBS cam virtual camera, aren't you?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Can you go to put yourself on a larger screen, Jerry? Yeah, your picture's a lot clearer today.
that's because I'm streaming in 1080p on StreamYard. Anybody that has StreamYard, you pay for the basic plan. You can try the pro plan for 7 days free. So I'm trying 1080p out free for like 5 more days. Then it's going to revert back to ugly me the next time I have a live stream. So.
But everyone else, all the other guests have been pretty good. It's just your picture's sometimes a bit fuzzy, not very clear. But it's clear
if
today.
everybody here is in 1080p, like he looks really good in 1080. You're probably 1080p.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
He never
Even
looked good.
previously.
Besides,
Previously. Yeah.
So,
No, take it off. Take it
No.
off. No.
Now
It
we
doesn't
see
help.
the wrinkles.
Bring that back
Doesn't
up.
help.
Bring Kieran back up full screen. I want to screenshot it. I need something for my dartboard.
well, if you start getting wrinkles, just turn that knob on the back of your head and pull them out. Hey Ben,
What
Brady,
is
how you doing?
This is not Star Trek. Star Trek. We can actually tighten the skin.
Yeah, that's it.
No.
pull it back.
Yeah.
What was the name?
Tie it up at the back.
Yeah.
Men in Black did the same thing. Bit loose. Tie a
They
knot
did,
back
yeah.
to the skin. Yeah.
But they copied.
And the Simpsons too.
Yeah, the Simpsons did it too.
Bart
Yeah.
tied it all in the back.
Yeah, last night was pretty crazy. I was going to come on for like 10,
That
15
part.
minutes and test
The
different
dad.
things in OBS. And I was on for over 3 hours. Just chatting with everybody in
You were
chat.
up for 3 hours afterwards after I left?
Well, total of about 3 hours, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know when you left, but
I don't think it was in that long, but cool.
Based on that, Hybotics, was the shipping cost more than the parts? Because that wouldn't have cost very much to buy the parts. What's shipping like for all that? For a
I'm not sure
either
where he's
cartridge,
located.
3 transistors. Yeah, it's a very small package. Down here, even that would still cost more than the parts for shipping it.
Where's he at, Kieran?
I'm not too sure.
Hybotics, where are you?
I just get them on. I just buy it on Amazon. It costs nothing for shipping.
Well, technically, I pay $120 a year for Amazon Prime, but I order so much it's almost like it's free.
Yeah, but I use their. But as part of that, you have access to their videos and stuff there as well.
Yeah, well, they also build the shipping into the price of the products too. So
Yeah.
they're not
Yep.
they're not going broke.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
you know, when their net revenue is like 80 billion a month, they're not losing money
No.
by charging you
No.
for Prime.
And the last time I talked to him on the phone, it was like, you know what? Why should I have to pay extra a month for your music package? I already pay $120 a year. I should get every bell and whistle for $120 a year. But if they can make money, they'll charge you. That's just how it works.
In 1935, yes. In 2021, 120 bucks a year won't even fill your gas tank once, depending on your
Yeah.
car.
Depends
yeah.
on your car.
I mean,
Well,
you just gotta be.
I had a truck and fill my tank twice.
Oh, Kieran, the word the, T-H-E, pronounce that and spell it for me in Australia.
Oh, Kieran.
The.
T-H-E. The.
Okay, because I noticed in comments, I thought you wrote T-E-H, and I noticed that Michael, when he says the, he says the or something. He says it differently, the pronunciation.
Now, I rapid type a lot, and the tends to be T-E-H. It's just slow on the response on the keyboard. So
Okay,
T-E-H is commonly typed by me. It's not a spelling it's just me being a bad typist.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is. And yeah, you type it out, and T-H gets transposed. It's about the only one that does.
Yeah, TH really usually gets my parts here in about 5 days, typically.
Yeah, Tim is really good.
For me, Tim's can change from 6 weeks to 3 weeks, depending on what it is. It's just freight down here is crazy.
Yeah, it depends on when it hits the transport and the ship. Because chances are it's not going by air, is it?
Usually it goes by air. Our trouble is down here, we have hardly any planes flying into Australia. We have half or less than half the number of arrivals in Australia than we used to have 18 months ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
We have
China's kind of
restrictions.
doing the same thing.
Yeah,
too.
we have restrictions on numbers international people coming in. There are restrictions because of quarantine. So because of that, airlines don't fly because they're not getting the volume because they can't get the people in.
Mhm.
And going the other way, you've got to get permission to leave the country. Anybody does.
really?
Correct.
Wow.
No, Ben, I have no idea.
So no one wants to fly down here, so you're restricted on flights, and everything comes in via Singapore or Malaysia.
No, you don't have to sand them if they're perfectly smooth and they look great. Just prime them and paint them. You don't have to pre-sand them. If they have little imperfections, then you can use like a wet and dry sandpaper, clean them really good and get them perfectly smooth. But typically, if it looks perfect, just prime it and go.
I suppose it depends whether it's.
That's what I do.
I suppose that would
depends.
depend on whether it's FTM or resin. Because
Well, no, you
It
you
doesn't
can
matter.
prime right. You can prime right. The primers stick to anything pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can prime right over PLA.
But in most cases, though, in a lot of cases, FDM would need more cleanup before you do your priming. And
Yeah,
then,
That's what filler primer is for.
And the minute you prime something that you think is perfect, you don't have to sand it. Any imperfection, you're going to see it when you prime it, and then you can go back and sand it, make it look perfect, and prime it again.
yeah.
Yeah.
So typically, if you're like, well, should I sand this? I don't know. Prime it, and then you're automatically going to see every single imperfection. And if you can see it with primer, if you paint it, you're still going to see it. Then you'll know what you got to do.
So
If it looks good to you, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
exactly.
it's prime, sand, prime, sand, prime, sand.
Prime sand.
Then maybe put a top coat.
A first coat.
A first coat.
Yeah, your first coat, and then
Yeah, if you're doing a
prime
helmet or
sand.
something, you got layer line issues, you got to spend a lot of time, like Liam said, doing that. But on a lot of prints, you can prime them, they look great, do a little minor touch-up sanding, and you don't even have to re-prime it. Just do your little touch-up sanding here and there. It looks good. Airbrush it, paint it by hand, whatever you got to do. You don't have to re-prime that again if you don't want to. If you're just doing minor touch-up sanding.
So I'm going to be
Unless-
getting into a new hobby. That's in line with being a maker. I'm going to start getting into the metal casting. So
PLA, lost PLA casting.
no, metal casting.
Yep, by using PLA as your mold source.
Yeah. So, but I won't burn it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own green sand to create my own sand casts, and then like aluminum or whatever. So I often do printing for stuff like parts for my telescopes and so on. I've done a lot of
brackets and
and all this stuff. But now I can print it, cast it, pour in aluminum, and I have an aluminum part that I can actually use on my telescope, which is going to be way stronger.
There
Are
you
those
go.
small forges 3-phase or single phase? Like
No, mine is
110
the one that I got is a propane
Propane.
gas.
propane.
So just stand it out there,
Yep.
and you can throw like soda cans into it and melt them down.
Yep.
And the nice
Recycling,
thing,
do your own recycling.
and the nice thing about doing that is whatever you cut off, it's like you always have, like you have your
Big
your-
sprues. Yeah.
the pieces you have to trim off around the edges as you're pouring it, right? Whatever's left over, you just throw it back in and you just reuse it. So
Mhm.
you never there's no real waste. And
Not
if
for
part
aluminium.
of it breaks, you chop it up, you throw it in, you melt it down, you pour it again, you're done, right?
Hello, Scott. How you doing?
So,
Mr. Marlin's here.
That's good.
oh, hey Scott. But so that's my goal would be to get into doing some metal casting now with it, and for stuff like that, like brackets and dovetails and so on for my scopes.
If you got
So you
minor
have-
scratches in a model you need to fill, you can use spot putty made by Bondo. It's red. You wear a glove or something, it's going to get your finger red. Just put it on. It dries really quick in like 10 minutes. Lightly sand over it, and then you can prime over that and paint. If it's really bad or you got deep gouges, you're trying to fill a gap, you can use like epoxy sculpt off Amazon. It's a 2-part putty. You mix 2 little pieces together, equal size, little round balls, knead it together really good, and that'll fill and that'll dry hard overnight. I use wood filler a lot. You can buy wood filler from any home center, and you can fill with that. There's a lot of different fillers you can buy that work fine. If it's a helmet or something really large or like an R2-D2 or something, then I might want to use Bondo because it's so huge and massive. You might want to use an automotive Bondo, but I rarely use that. But there's
You
a lot
could
of
also-
putties and things.
You could also use UV resin, or you could use
Hey, Gene, how you doing?
UV resin and a paintbrush indoors, paint it, and then bring it out and expose it,
Sure.
and it'll harden. Or you could also use the resin that's used for fiberglass resin. Paint it on, let it set overnight, and then you can sand it. And then if you need more gaps to fill, put more of it on, let it set overnight, and then you can get a perfectly smooth finish. A lot of the modelers print with PLA or something like that, and then they use that like either UV resin, or they'll put on the fiberglass resin over it, because that would actually give the overall part strength to make it more robust as well.
Old Curmudgeon's got a question there for you, Liam, regarding casting. He's got a plastic part that keeps breaking there. You can't handle. So it must
You
be.
can't model the hand. Oh, it doesn't. I don't think that's a question. I think he's just saying that it breaks.
He wants
and
it. He wants
he needs it in aluminum,
more
but he
robust.
doesn't. He can't model it in
You could probably
fusion.
cast them. Yeah, you could probably cast it.
Hey, Dixon.
Oh, hey,
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 Dixon.
Dixon, how's it going?
Hey Dixon, a small cast like propane gas unit costs maybe $300 or $250, and you have everything you need. And all you have to do is you make a wooden box to create your to do your sand casting, and you the green sand is what.
No way.
What?
Wow. Gene Gamble, PayPal sent me $125. Oh my God.
Oh, cool!
Well done.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Wow.
Cool. So
He said to put for my StreamYard Pro. Wow,
Nice.
There you go.
amazing.
so
Unbelievable. Thank you.
the sand you use for making the cast, right? What they call green sand, is basically really fine, like
Thank you, sir.
kids play sand, really fine grain, and also about 20% clay. Now, to get the clay, you can just get kitty litter, grind it down to a super smooth, and sieve it to really fine powder, and mix about 20% of that in with sand, and then dampen it. So when you squeeze it, it stays in its shape. That's how you know it's in the right texture for use
Consistency.
when you're modeling.
Yeah,
Can you use that
thank
clay?
Thank you very much. That's awesome. That's unbelievable. $125 to put towards the pro version. I really thank you. Thank you very much. If he was here, I'd give you a hug, man. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Liam, can you use the clay kitty litter, the one that's kind of like a fine powder already?
If it's fine enough, but it needs to go to a really fine detailed powder. I mean, super fine. And then when you cast your base cast, basically what you put on a flat surface, you put the part on a flat surface, and you dust it down with baby powder, and then and put the shell around it, and then you pack in the sand around it to build it up, right? And then you flip it over, baby powder again, put the top part on, and then pack in the top half of it. And we obviously with your entrance pour, with your pour spout, and an air vent, right? The air vent goes right into the part. And once you do that, you use baby powder, and you use your own green sand, but it has to be super fine. I mean, like those very small tea strainers. I mean, the small ones, the old metal ones you used to get, are very fine powder. Those small tea strainers are ideal for this. To get that's how small it needs to be.
Hey, Dixon.
But it works really well.
How's it going?
Hey, what have you been up to? How's it going?
Pretty good. I just finished up building this LK Longer 5
The
Pro.
Longer.
Oh, wow.
Okay, 5 Pro, right?
Very nice.
Yeah, they got the switch right here, auto shut off, that I just put on and finished it up and gave it a test run. And I'm really happy with the printer because of the bed size. And like I always told you, I never buy anything unless I got some way of it's got to make its money in 2 weeks. Well, the reason why I bought this is because it's got a 12 by 12 bed, and I'll be selling my Ender 3 will be going at Christmas time, and my Ender 5.
Yeah, that's
Will
a
be-
300 by 300 by 400, isn't it?
Yep, it's 11.8 inches, almost 12 by
Yeah.
12. And I thought if I'm getting rid of them two printers, I can buy this one, and it'll cover what them two printers we're doing.
Yeah, I like the idea that it has the Z supports. That's a good addition. Anything like that needs the Z supports.
Yeah, I don't know. I tested. I have a big vase up there I did with one of my original CR10s, and I had no problems at all, going up that high, but I did not test this one yet.
Yeah, but if you increase speed, Z support becomes important.
Great, because it's got tendency to shake.
Yeah, it introduces a vibration with a high speed, with a faster speed, so it helps support it. It helps. It makes a difference.
And the
Yeah,
bigger
that's
the
one
bed
thing
too, 'cause then
I'm
you
gonna
got more
switch cameras
mass.
here. One thing I'm gonna do
Yeah.
is on the feet here. I'm gonna add little rubber pieces on the feet because them are plastic, and I can see it vibrate on the table if I crank it up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But there's the stop button, and then underneath I have a little bracket which comes in click stat and
Nice.
stops
Well,
at the end of the each
Awesome.
print.
3D ZYLTECH. I love their filament, but I haven't used it in a while, but I love their filament.
there's only Dixon. One thing you want to be careful of. Don't move the bed forward as soon as the print is done because you want your hot end to cool down before you shut it down. Otherwise, you'll get heat creep up through
No, I never got that. Never got it. I have
All
it
right,
on every
just be aware.
printer.
All right,
I have it. I have it on every printer. Never got heat creep on none of them.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just all 12 printers. I just have it shut down. I have the Z come forward really slow on all my
then why, you
machines.
mean?
So it still doesn't, it doesn't give it really enough time to cool down. But I never got heat creep on none of them.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it happen. Whereas it melts the above the heat break because the heat moves up there. If it takes a long time for it to cool down.
Yep, I heard
So
that
you
many
just-
times, and I don't know. I guess
Maybe
I don't know.
you have it in a cooler room or a colder room so the heat drops faster. Maybe.
It could be they're all in the basement, but I've been running 12 printers for years like that, and I had a shut off on all of them, so I don't have to watch them. So I wake up in the morning and they're all finished, and then I remove the parts and start again, and I never got heat creep in them. So
Okay.
but I know what you're saying. I've seen it before too,
Yeah.
years ago on my old ones that I scratch built.
That's just a G code, in G code to go right to the very end and extend it out.
Yep,
Yeah.
I take the Y on all my printers. The smaller ones, obviously, the Y has to be smaller. But I bring this forward 280 millimeters, and then it taps
Limit,
that switch and
basically the
shuts it
limit,
off
yeah.
at the end of the print. And I have that
And as
on
long as
every
you-
one of my printers. The 3 deltas I have a square box up on top with a switch. So then at the end, it actually has a little pivot. So it starts up, so it homes, and then when it starts printing, I just tip it down a little, and I put a little pin in it, and then when that finishes, the Y goes up and taps that switch and shuts that off on my 3 FL Suns. And I never got a heat creep on them either because I just bought them. I think I talked to you guys maybe a half a year ago. I bought 3 of them. They're 25% faster as far as print speed.
That's just the micro switch triggering a relay.
Yeah, I have a little box here with a switch in it, and I run it right to the main power. That way, all the power is off.
Okay.
To power box. The feed coming in from the cord
Yep.
goes
Mhm.
right
Main
to the
supply,
power
yeah.
supply. I split it right there, and I could do it to the neutral, but then it'll be safer. But I don't. Then you still have 110 going inside that box all over.
Yeah.
Where I'd rather split the hot. These switches are special. They're rated at like 20 amps.
Nice.
I almost lost this thing. I looked at it underneath it. I forgot it's on an end table, and the legs are longer than the end table.
Yeah,
Knock it and
I've heard a lot of
Hey,
people
Carl, how you doing?
talk about it. People seem to long the LK5.
If you'd like to drop in, Carl, here's a link. If anybody would like to drop in and hang out with us and talk on screen, there's a link right there. It's we'd love to have you.
Yeah,
Well, Hal just
UI is
dropped in
awesome. The UI is just totally awesome. It's just code, but it's a real nice. The one thing I had to do, this thing is perfect. There's only one thing. All of them aren't perfect. There's one thing I had to do. When I finish building these, I make sure everything's square with the square as I'm building it. When I tighten the bolts all up, I tighten them all up and make sure they're locked in place and square. The right side on this bed, when I finish, I put the glass on and the aluminum plate. I'll measure this X bar, and it was off by 3 millimeters on this side, on the right side facing it. So I went and got, when I zeroed everything out and I tightened the springs up, I went and measured it, and I added 4 millimeter spacers under this side of the bed. And then it was right on the money, and then I set up the Z switch so it stops. And then it was right on the money. This bar going across was exactly parallel to the whole bed.
Nice.
Cool.
So they might have something I didn't look. They might have something bent, or it could be in the aluminum. But when they only have one Z axis, I noticed this other side, your right side, this side here, usually is always down farther than this one. So that's why I put I
Gravity.
complicated it with spacers. I shimmed it on the right side of the bed, so it was exactly the same all the way across.
Nice.
Yeah, but the wheels on that over time anyway will loosen or will wear, and they'll create a bit of a play in it anyway. So
I hear that with people, my CR10s, I look under them and I see that fine dust with them wheels, and I've been running them CR10s. It's got to be about 8 years, and I can't believe the belts I didn't change nothing on them original CR10s yet. Nothing wore out.
The clear polycarbonate wheels will hold up a lot better than the black ones also.
Yeah, they must be. I must have the harder wheels because I look under all my 3D printers. I've been running them all for at least 7 years, and I see the dust on there, and I just leave it, but nothing's
It's not really
loose.
dust. It's just the coating of that wheel being slowly shaved off of it.
Right. That's what I mean by
Actually,
dust.
it's
wheel
really
dust.
it's really just dust. It's mostly just dust from the room, because the palm, not all palm is created equal, but the wheels, they'll compress, they'll deform faster than they would come off in a fine powdery. I mean, do you have any other plastic that just by rubbing it against another smooth piece of material turns to dust? No,
Well, I can't answer
palm
that.
doesn't. Palm doesn't either.
Now.
So it's not dust, that particles that come from the palm wheels. It's dust from your house, because they're plastic. So as they roll back and forth, they're creating static and they collect dust.
Yes.
Right. So it just builds up on those wheels. It's not really dust from the wheel.
If
But
I
they
would
will
take the
deform
wheels,
if you push them too hard, just like PTFE.
I made a lot of things out of UHMW, and if I made some wheels like that out of UHMW, they would never wear. Your bearings would go first. But some people, like when I first, the King Runes, I bought 4 of those. They're little workhorses. I set them up in no time at all, and they really put out the parts. And one of them, I slid back and forth real slow, and you get that clump, that clunking. They cranked them too tight, and it sat on a bearing spot, and I had to change out that one bottom wheel.
You get that really ka-thunk real slight.
They're too tight.
Feather it out. You can't always get rid of it, but you can get rid of most of it.
Yeah, they put them too tight at the factory, and then it sat like that in the box and made a flat spot on the bearing. And I thought, okay, I changed it out, and then it went away.
Well, the other option is if you use it for a while on parts you don't really care about, it will eventually reshape itself. That flat area will go out of it. But yeah, just change
them bearings are pretty tiny.
You got to figure out
the bearing. It's the actual wheel, the plastic wheel that actually gets embedded and flattened out.
By over tightening those wheels, those bearings, you can damage the bearing.
I pulled it out and I held the bearing and I could feel it click in that spot. I could feel I could feel one of the balls clicking in that spot. I thought, well, they cranked her too tight and they ruined that bearing, because I stuck it on my finger and I turned it real slow and boom, that was it. The bearing was junk.
Yeah, and the polycarbonate wheels, I mean, they have their own set of challenges too. I mean, they're harder.
Awesome.
So
Thank you, Steve L. Awesome.
More vibration across if your printer's,
my
susceptible to
StreamYard
that.
fund.
Yep.
Very cool. I'll officially be going to Pro now, guys. It costs me $40 a month if I don't pay $300 or $400 and buy it a year at a time. But I've got 125 that came in from Gene, and another 25 here from Steve. So I'll definitely be putting that towards StreamYard Pro, and I'll be running Pro from now on. So that's very cool. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that.
Better start going to makeup before every stream session then, Jerry.
What did he do?
The rest of us.
Did Jerry just drop out?
Yep.
The stream.
I think he hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
He hit the wrong button.
So now it's everybody. So who do we name the show after now? Sorry, Jerry, we're not going to admit you. We're not going to
Lock him out quick.
Hangout.
Had to reload.
Hurry up, let's talk about it.
You must have hit the wrong button.
That's all right. I think he missed that one. I think he got away with it there, Liam.
Yeah, I don't know why it kicked me out. I was talking and my screen went white. That's never happened before.
No.
You must have it set in smart mode.
Well, Liam is logged in as me also right now, and the stream is running. But one thing about StreamYard, you don't actually download it; you log into their servers. So if you lose internet and never get back on, you'll just keep running and running and running, and it'll never stop.
Yeah.
But you look
Check 'em
like
out
you
again,
came
Liam.
back in like 480 though.
Let me check it.
But is it just me? No, honestly, like Kieran is unfortunately clear.
Yep.
And Matt but Jerry's is quite fuzzy.
I don't know. He's really clear.
He
He's
is
clear
now.
on my
Back,
big,
he has dropped. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure
clear
what
on my
happened.
big screen, but
Yeah, it looks like it's the video has softened a little bit.
I've got OBS going in the background. Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I don't know.
he's totally clear on my
I
big
think
screen.
Steve's made a mistake because he's talking about great streams, but we're on it, so that can't be right.
No, he's talking about great steams.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is pretty steamy.
Because he might have faded to the wrong stream by mistake.
Like the steaming divot.
Yeah, the big steaming pile of. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, it's funny.
Well, anyway, yeah, that was crazy. I've never had
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happen.
You better correct it quick, Steve. Quick, correct it. Get a refund quick.
So casting will be fun though. I think it'll be a fun experiment, to get into. I need to get I got a damaged one. It cost me nothing. So I need to get a new crucible for it because there's no crucible came with or the gas lead in. I have the tubing. I just don't have the feed that actually would
Goes inside.
in for the flame. So I'm gonna have to get those two pieces, and then I'll get into doing some metal casting.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I thought of that years ago, but God, I'm just too many rabbit holes already.
Hey,
Yeah,
Dan,
no.
how you doing? You're welcome to pop in if you
But
like. Dan.
those refractory
Hey, Dan.
crucibles, they add up if you're not careful with them because they are delicate when they're cold, warm.
Hot.
They can.
Well,
be
they're clay. Yeah, they're made
Yeah,
of
yeah.
clay, so you have to be careful with them. But they're not expensive to replace.
No.
And you can get metal crucibles as well.
No,
If
no,
I get
better off with the ceramic
Well,
ones.
Well, yes and no, because the ceramic ones are good, really good because they heat up fast. But this will not melt steel. It'll do good for copper, gold, silver, aluminum, and so on.
But you're not planning on melting steel, are you?
No, so that means if you got a steel crucible in it, it would survive. It would be able to work. It would get really hot. It would work. So
Another way
I
to
haven't
burn down your
I'm
house.
going to get a new crucible for it.
What's that, Matt?
Another way to burn down your house.
Yeah.
When you don't use these things inside, you don't want metal
they're always out.
indoors.
They're always
Yeah.
outside
there's
with
a-
propane.
There's
Only
a
in
lot
the
of guys.
winter.
There's a lot of guys doing that. I'll tell you, they got no protection or nothing. And I thought, boy, if something would go wrong and that explodes, I mean, they got nothing on their legs. They don't have a jacket on, or they have a plastic mask, and that's it.
No.
And
Who's the
they're
man
really
I
getting some awesome
who's the
parts
guy
out of
I
it from
see
3D
streaming?
printed.
There's a young guy that's streaming all the time. He's always mixing chemicals and all kinds of crazy things. And he's in his house, obviously. It looks like his house. And things blow up on him and everything else. He's trying out all kinds of crazy projects. I'm like, he's moving to an outbuilding or something, or outside.
Sure, that's how JPL got started, right? The guys were at Caltech. Well, no, seriously, they were at Caltech and they were working on formulas for rocket fuel,
Yeah.
and they blew up the lab. And the guys came along and says, "Look, you can't work here anymore." And they turned around and said, "There's a farmhouse a couple of miles away. Why don't we set you up out there? At least then in this old farm built out yard, right?
You'll kill
And
yourself.
be away from people. You won't kill people." Hence, JPL started, right? That's how it began.
Oh yeah, a lot of places start the garage. SW turbines years ago, they don't exist no more. They were building things for NASA. Well, he made these miniature turbines. He used to play when he was a kid. He used to play with full-size jet engines and take them apart, all that. So he designed a small turbine that he's got in the F-22, and they were before they had the test room. They were bench testing it, and it was they use liquid bearings. It's a ceramic bearing. It was 400,000 RPMs. It blew the drywall off the wall, and it cracked 6-inch concrete from the harmonics.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday to Dan's daughter. If you're watching, hello, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so it's but that's how stuff begins, right? People they blow stuff up and they move them out into their own building, and so now they start a new entity because like that's why JPL is part of Caltech. That's where it began as part of as an experiment in one of the labs at Caltech.
well, I mean, if you're trying to make jet fuel and it explodes your house, you're on the right track. It's
Yeah,
getting,
yeah.
you know,
And when your house
I don't
turns
know.
up,
Timed up your
you
game.
know, you're doing well.
I don't know if any of you guys like Sunny Delight. I wouldn't ever drink it, but it's 100% synthetic. They showed years ago on YouTube the kid that designed Sunny Delight. It's 100% synthetic.
I
Never
used to
drank
drink it.
What is that? Is it a drink?
It's a drink like orange
It's like
juice.
fake
It looks just
orange
like orange
juice.
juice, and
Like
then
Tang.
he started the company Sunny Delight.
it's probably worse than Tang.
I never drank either one of those two, Sunny Delight or Tang. But yeah, it's
More of an Ovaltine guy.
no, I'm not an Ovaltine person either.
I didn't
Well,
mind Ovaltine
Ovaltine on your ice
until
cream.
until you have like the Nestle Quick or like real, hot cocoa. That's when Ovaltine just goes bad for you.
No.
Otherwise, if that's all you've had,
Hot cocoa here is at our house is whole milk and real cocoa powder, and we actually make our own.
Did you see the
Yeah.
picture on Facebook that's going around? The little boy thinks he's smart. He's got the Hershey's cocoa, takes off the lid, has a tablespoon, and throws it in his mouth, and then realizes that it's not Nestle's Quick or something. So yeah,
So
he's got a horrid face. Really, yeah, it's really nasty. But
yeah, but that reminds me of my buddy. I think I told you about this, and I am one of my buddies in Ireland. His girlfriend said he likes fried rice food, so she says she was going to make him fried rice. So he came home anyway after work, and she had their food and she served him fried rice, and yeah, Jerry's dialing up his childhood.
Yeah,
there.
those people that passed away. You remember these?
that's Jerry's new
remember
cell
those.
phone.
Can
Yeah.
you hear me now? Hello?
Betty Boop allowed to do an upgrade. He went from the party line hand crank to the dial phone. That's
How do you
his
text
upgrade.
that, Matt?
Smartphone.
They still
Yeah,
work,
but you don't have the wall phone 12
No,
Yeah.
but
12-person party line.
until you've been whacked with the receiver with those heavy Bakelite phones in the back of the head. You don't know what those phones are. Those were weapons. They weren't communication devices. They were weapons.
well, they communicated to you by smacking you upside the head.
Yeah,
You
very,
got the message.
very effective communication device.
Yeah, you got the message after that.
Yeah, you got the message. That's true. You did get the message.
The first cell phone was that great.
Yeah,
big
it was
giant brick.
instant messaging right
Like
there.
1982, 1983, the first cell phone came out. That great big giant brick.
I remember when those came out. I remember I was traveling somewhere. I can't remember, but somebody had a phone. I was at a train station, and he was standing there with a big phone. And while he was holding up to his ear, it rang.
Oops.
He was showing up, but he's
Well, back then, nobody wanted a phone call because it was like $2.25 a minute
A minute.
to
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
a phone call on those. And, in the 80s, $2.25 was a lot of money.
A lot of
a
money.
minute.
and you need
Yeah.
you need to be Arnie Schwarzenegger to hold it because these things were huge.
Yeah. Or before that, the one where you had the giant battery pack with a shoulder strap, and then the handset would come off of that, and it was like 80 pounds. The
We're
whole
talking
thing. It was
military now,
ridiculous.
right?
It was like
That's where
carrying
they got
a
it
car
from.
battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
from
where
the
they got it
military.
from, the military.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so that's where the internet came from. Is the military, right?
DARPA, yeah. Didn't they invent it?
Yeah,
Or was
that's
it?
where-
Or was it the other guy that didn't get credit?
No, it was DARPA. They got it. They came up with it, and then eventually, and then they changed to a different system, and then they released it publicly. And that's how the internet came about.
So, Dixon, how's your big giant flashlight coming along? Any more changes to it or anything you want to show us?
No, it's all set. I think there's a guy that's going to buy it for $200. It's all good to go.
That's not a flashlight.
If you don't get
Sure,
your
very large.
forge fixed, Liam, you can just shine that on the aluminum.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
I always want to strap this behind my back like Crocodile Dundee, and
Yeah,
somebody pulls out a light, and I'm up north, and then I go, "This is a flashlight."
That's not a flashlight.
When are you gonna sell? When are you gonna sell us the STLs for them?
My wife says I sold I gave some STL files away, and I got burned bad. And my wife seen this, and she says you are not giving them files away.
Yeah.
Although the files, the file base files for those, they're free at the moment, Jason.
For that.
For that. That's just the modified lightsaber
It's
from
pretty close,
Adafruit.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Adafruit.
It's
It's the
pretty
Adafruit
close to,
lightsaber. Yeah.
It's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
close
no, I
to
know it was the lightsaber, but
a
he's
Star Wars.
modded it to
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Very
That's
cool.
the same. Where is it? Where did I put it?
I'd like to maybe build
there
two
we
of
go.
those about 3 feet longer, and then stick them on my Jeep.
It's the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it's
upscale
very
components.
similar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Same components.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was looking at that type when
Yeah.
I was just drawing this
Yeah.
up. I was looking at one of those on screen.
Yeah.
Now, you should do a big version and mount them on your Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I said to
What
my
traffic?
buddy,
Push the button. It just burns away in front of them.
you'd have to have a hood on this because otherwise you could get picked up. If you don't have this covered during the day, I guess you can't have such a bright light or the cops will pick you up. So I would put a hood on this. But if I made 2 more of these, maybe 3 feet longer, and stuck 2 of them on top of my Jeep, I guarantee you, riding around, I'd get guys stopping me, would want to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Put
Maybe
them on a
it-
motor so you can adjust them from inside.
No,
You don't
he
have to
gets
get out.
stopped because the cops will think it's a rocket launcher on the roof of his car.
Well, that'd be pretty neat to have some of these 2 big ones bolted to the side of my Wrangler.
It'd be scary.
Yeah. If I turned up at an astronomy event with one of those, they'd kill me.
You'd be blind for weeks.
I would blind everyone for a week.
Yeah.
Normally, white light wipes out your night vision for about 30 minutes. Takes 30 minutes for it to come back after white light. But with that thing, if that shone in your eyes, you won't be able to see for a month.
But Liam, think of the using of that for a pointer. Now here we have the moon lights up. Here we have Saturn lights up. Here we have Mars lights up.
If I point to, well, Saturn and Jupiter are in the sky right now. You can see them;
Yeah.
they're really bright. But I'm just saying, if you turn one of those on the Saturn, you'll have to hold it for 80 minutes because it'll take 20 minutes, 40 minutes for the lights to go out and 40 minutes back before you see it work.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
right.
crazy, Weiss. That's crazy.
That
Just
was
before it burst
just
into
before it
flames.
burst into flames.
Yeah, I had
it turned up.
I had to turn it off because it was starting to scorch the leaves in front of me.
Thank you, Dan.
How many watts does that produce?
It puts out 10,000 looms, and I didn't build one because with 100,000 because you're talking liability then. Because it would burn your retina instantly. If you go 100,000 looms, it's gonna burn it right
Hey,
now.
Burst in a laser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even if I built one, if this is 10,000 and I get that kind of light,
You know what you need to do? You need to put that device in a long tube, right? And then in front of the tube, you have like a little, what's it called? Magnification glass. And you,
Turn it
Yeah,
to
and- and you push it back and forward so you
Yeah,
can
to
adjust
zoom it in.
the lens. Yeah.
I tell you, if you put a lens in front of that and you could get it to focus, you could
Yeah, that's what I
probably use
mean.
it as a white light laser.
well, yeah,
That's what
instead
I'm
of taking a
saying.
little light or magnifying when you're a kid and you burn ants, I figure if I put a magnifier on there, I could burn rats and stuff.
Mhm.
Squirrels.
Rats, cattle, elephants.
Hey, Dixon, you're off. There you go. Okay, there you are.
Mount two of them to
no
your Jeep,
wildlife harming, please.
and then you can be a mobile tanning service. As you drive down the street, you just
No.
shine them into people's houses, and they tan
Now I have
at
the
their
little
home.
one, the little one that I sold. I'm up to 9 of them that I sold. Now I have a focus on that one, and that's the one that I shot across I shot across the football, the baseball and football diamond in front of my yard, and you can see I could light up that whole tree across
back
the
of it.
football field.
Nice.
And that's the fire it started back, that orange spot.
Yeah.
He can just go out and make instant barbecues out in the farmland, driving down
Yeah,
the road.
yeah,
I like that, Cal.
Well,
Poof,
imagine
barbecue.
you got, you got any critters out running around, you can cook your supper when you put the spot on them.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Cook them while they're coming.
That has to be illegal in California. You can't have something like that.
Everything's illegal in California. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Hey, Milan, how's it going?
That's why we don't live in California, because everything's illegal there. They have ridiculous restrictions on some things over there.
It's almost as bad as Australia.
Almost.
Oh,
Things
Yeah,
are.
in California, this would be legal. I would just tell them it's for telling stories. You put it under your chin. And then they'll say, "Oh, then it's okay."
You put
Here,
it on
try
your
it.
skin, you turn it on, and they watch your face melt.
Melt, plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Get the whole
No,
face melt.
you hand it to the guy who's questioning you, and you tell him, "Here, try it." They'll never bother you again. They'll never be able to find you. They're blind.
Chris Travis or anybody watching, if you'd like to drop in, here's the link. If you want to pop it on screen, you're very welcome. Come and hang out and chat with us. Show us what you've been working on.
I have the only thing I'm going to do yet. I'm looking for a survival kit. I'm going to put a survival kit in the back. There's a lot of room inside there.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
put
you can put not a
You
You
survival
could put
kit.
your,
a
you could
parachute.
put your whole tent in there.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I'm
No, you
thinking.
just live in it. You can live inside it.
no survival kit. You should put an anti-burns kit in there. You have to burn
Yeah,
the skin off your little
have a
tweeter.
I got to put a safety kit. Yeah, I got a rolled up safety kit back there for burns.
Fire blanket, fire
Yeah.
extinguisher.
Put on
Pull out some
put in
sunglasses for your laser.
one of those
stick them in
aluminum
there.
foil suits so it doesn't burn you.
Yeah. I can just imagine him walking down the street with that in his hand, and he dressed head to toe in the gold mylar, so he
Yeah.
doesn't set on fire.
Wonder what that would do if you shined it at a disco ball.
You blind
That would
everyone.
be-
That would just
Yeah.
be crazy.
Well, you probably blind everyone in the 200 mile
It
radius.
would just explode.
Think of the wall burn pattern. It'd be a lovely random burn pattern all over the wall for decorations. Instant patterning on the walls.
You got to laugh. I looked for a lens for that, like the smaller flashlights, and it's so impossible. I can't find one.
No,
that size.
you'd have to grind it yourself.
Yep. With that
You
bubble.
have to
You know,
do
they put a plastic lens on LEDs and something like that, only giant. I'll have to call China, the company that does that on little LEDs, see if they can make me a nice big one.
Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, up.
Hey, Mike.
Good to see you.
Hey, Mike.
Can you hear us, Mike?
Apparently not.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
Yeah, there's got-
I was trying to get my audio working.
How's it going? How you been?
Oh, it's going. It is going. Yeah, been a whole bunch of just software development lately.
You're getting rid of old computers and junk. The man on screen right now probably wants it. What do you have, Chris Travis?
Whoa. I actually just picked up an NES fresh in the box.
Wow.
Nice.
I never
You
find
gonna say
anything good like that. I usually find, like, if it's something that I want, I usually can find maybe the door or the cover to it broken for somebody charging too much. Never the thing I want. I never can.
Yeah.
Well, no, they get stuff like that, old electronics. You need to go around to garage sales. People will always be selling stuff like that.
Yeah,
Garage sales.
that's true. I just don't feel like it.
And you
They need
get
to
it
do
there for
online
$20.
garage sales.
But you get them for a few bucks at those things,
Yeah.
I do. It's called Fleabay.
Flea Bay. Yeah. Everything there is overpriced.
Yep, usually.
Yeah.
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 If
Price
you want to
goes
make
up.
money off of the things you buy, that's when you put them on eBay.
Did you ever do that Nellis auction, Jerry?
Yeah, I used to buy from them quite a bit, and there used to be one not far from me down here on Nellis,
Mhm.
and then they got rid of that location, and they got rid of their main location. Now they're way out off the strip somewhere.
Well, they moved that one, I think, or either they moved it or they opened two. There's one on Dean Martin
Yeah, that
over
one.
by the Silverton, and then I know the one up by Nellis,
That
but I
shut
think it
down.
closed. Oh, okay.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, but it used to be able to find. I mean, we got, I don't know, quite a few things on there that were just like $1. I mean, Sandra got a $2,000 stroller for like $40 just because nobody bid on it, and it was brand new.
I bought 4 Enders off that site, anywhere from $50 to $120 way back when they first came out. But a lot of times, if you look, people drive the prices up.
Yes, that's I don't even bother anymore.
And then my son bought a bunch of boxes of random stuff for like $20, and he got some really expensive stuff in that grab bag where it's miscellaneous. Sometimes people drive up the prices, sometimes they don't. But,
yeah. Sandra got one of those boxes once, and it had like a couple things in it that were like, I don't know, she paid $5 for it, and a couple of the things in there were over $100, and they were new.
They got a contract with Amazon. They sell Amazon returns on there too.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing in those
and Home Depot.
The biggest thing in those boxes is AirPods.
Oh no, they'll throw whatever is in the box.
I know a guy who got who bought one of those boxes. I think he paid $20 for it, and he got 10 sets of AirPods for it inside in that one box, as well as lots of other stuff.
Yeah, you never know what you might be getting.
AirPods.
Well, I mean, if they're like real, legit Apple AirPods, he got a good deal.
They were,
yeah.
All them sites start out excellent, and then then the big boys come in and they ruin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The stores and the big companies come in and then they ruin it. They start selling all kinds of stuff from China.
Especially since, a lot of people started staying home more during the current situation or whatever. But that just is just ridiculous. I mean,
well, a lot of companies,
I will see people bid more than what the item costs new. Yep. And on top of that, they have to pay the auction fee plus tax and go pick it up.
Sometimes that's rigged up like that,
Yeah. So.
Facebook used to be an excellent marketplace. I sold tons of stuff, and then all of a sudden, you get the hackers and the crooks on there, and all of a sudden you see these Jeeps and everything for $126 for $1,200, and it's like, give me a break.
Nellis Auction used to have a physical building down the street from me 2 miles away, and I went there 2 or 3 times. And it was on a Saturday, and you go in on Friday, you can look at whatever you want and you can't touch it. Basically, you're not supposed to touch it. Just look at it. You pay like $25 up front, give them your credit card, and then you can bid on things. But certain people always drive the bid through the roof. And I'm thinking, if it ain't less than half, I don't want it. Whatever it is, if it's not less than half, it's not a good deal. If it's half or above, I'd rather buy it new. So, anyway.
Well, that's how you make money with shill bidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I got this here. This lateral file cabinet. It's Han. So I mean, it's probably just as good as any other lateral file cabinet, but I don't know. I probably paid $20 for it there, and it's
excellent.
Probably $500 or $600 if you buy it from Han. I mean, it's just bent sheet metal. I don't know why it's that much.
Then I went to an auto auction one time up off of Lake Mead in Losey, I think it is. And they had a car that came in completely wrecked. I mean, this car isn't worth nothing. And it went for quite a bit of money. And it's like, what are they going to take off that I am not seeing? That's a lot of money. The engine was demolished. There was nothing there. But there must have been something on there somebody wanted, and they'll rip it apart and hope that it's got a good tranny or something in it. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not into auctions, personally. I haven't really been, and I haven't looked around here. I find Craigslist is a good place if you're going to get some new stuff.
You need a NASA space capsule in your backyard. And this is funny. When I was a teenager, there was a place on Nellis when I was probably 16 years old. It was a junkyard that had all kinds of anything and everything. And they had a space capsule sitting there, like came down the parachute and landed in the water. It was gutted, but it was an actual capsule. No idea what they wanted for it, but I do remember when I was a little kid going there with my dad and seeing that. That was pretty cool.
2 years ago, NASA sold one of their science centers sold for $1 a Saturn I Stage 1 rocket, the actual Stage 1 rocket, right? It never flew, but it was a real Stage 1, right? They sold it for $1. This thing, then the only thing you have to do is you have to pay for transportation. The transportation will cost you about $60,000 to move it.
Yeah, it's huge.
But this thing was huge, but they were actually selling it for $1. They were selling the actual rocket unit.
That's how you know they want to get rid of something.
But like I'm telling you, if I had the money and I had a place to put it, I'd have bought it.
What, you didn't have $1?
I could afford $1. I couldn't afford a 60
I'll
grand.
give you
To
$1.
move
But,
it.
but wouldn't they have shot it to your house for you for free? Light it
Well,
up, send it to your
To
direction.
transport it, right?
It's a
You need
rocket.
to have
That's
to
when you
move this
start a
thing.
GoFundMe or something, you know. I
Yeah.
want a rocket in my backyard. Come help me.
Well, the problem about moving that thing is first of all you'd have to have the hauler to move it. Then you'd have to have the police pay for the police to actually
escort it.
you through every state
And then-
along the way.
And then
Shut
hopefully you can
down
get
the roads and get permits and everything for every state and every city. The
You're
whole
not
way.
thinking about this right. You got to fly it to your house.
Yeah, exactly. Fuel it and push the button, and they just drop it off at your house. They're rocket scientists. They can drop it off anywhere.
The LP1 would probably
parachute
bankrupt half the small countries. The amount of money you have to put into the fuel.
But you can sell tickets for, I'm getting your rocket delivered tomorrow. Just get all the seats out, fire it up, land it. Job
And
done.
then again, you never know what your neighbors might throw out. You be sure you own a truck if you're going grocery shopping and it's garbage day or a couple, day before. You never know what somebody's putting on the curb. So
Oh yeah, some people just put stuff out because it's taking up space.
Yeah, I've got a 2 cubic meter skip on my front verge at the moment. And when I got them to drop it off, I said, please put it back behind the hedge to stop people going in there and going through it and making a mess because it's just full of building rubble at the moment.
I took down
Otherwise,
my
you have a-
ceiling fan in the living room. It's got a real long brass extension on it. It's got a light kit on it, a remote on the wall with these batteries. I decided I didn't want it no more. It's out on the curb right now, and I took all the parts, put them in a Ziploc baggie, and set with it. Somebody wants it, they can clean it up, and they can use it. Nothing wrong with it. But if the trash day comes around and no one's taking it, then I'll bust it up and drop it in the garbage.
Well, you
And I
don't
don't
have
wanna-
any problem with rain or anything out there.
It
So it
rained
rained
the other day,
yesterday.
but It rarely rains. It rarely rains.
Yeah, it rains in Vegas. They have a
Yeah.
big party when it does, but it rains in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard thunder and everything. It was awesome. It's like, wow, what's that? That's cool. I got to go look.
Yeah.
Now we have I think we have rain coming tomorrow evening. We've been pretty dry here recently, but we've had some rain, but not an awful lot.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I got the excessive heat warning notification for yesterday on my phone, and then walking around, Sanders like, "Was that thunder?" I'm like, "Huh? What?" And then the wind came, started raining, and still said excessive heat warning. I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, but like the clouds act like a blanket and hold in the heat. So
Yeah.
when it's overcast, it's hotter. And like if it's normally 80 degrees, and you have clouds over, it's going to get hotter,
Yeah.
and the humidity goes up through the roof as well with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting real nice here now at night. It gets down to 58.
I'm wearing a jacket at night already.
But you don't want
Not
this
here.
here where hail coming down.
Oh yeah.
No, nearly good.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get some of that every year.
I know so many people that work that they'll drive from here from Vegas to Oklahoma for training or whatever because you can make a little money off the mileage, so they'll drive and they get there and then their car just gets hammered with baseball sized hail,
Yep.
and then
Oh,
they got to
yeah.
get their car fixed and they got to do everything, and I'm like,
I'm
I'll just-
surprised I don't hear on the news of more people dying. If it's going to put a dent in your car and break your windshield, what happened if that would hit you in the head? That would knock you out or could kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad my Jeep was in the garage. It
It
would have been
won't kill
junk.
you. It wouldn't kill you, but it would knock you out.
yeah,
Would hurt.
It'll break my windshield or put a dent in my steel body on my vehicle, but it wouldn't kill me.
Yeah,
I think it would tenderize you pretty well.
Yeah,
it would tenderize
it's
you, but it
gonna
wouldn't
hurt.
kill
And
you.
obviously, you're gonna have your hands over your head,
Because-
freaking out,
Yeah.
running, so
It would have to hit you in the head pretty, on your temple or
Like,
something, I
like
think.
even-
Well, I mean, that's what's on the top, so the chance of that happening is pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, you must remember you're a small little amount of overall space you're using, right?
yeah.
And it has a big area to fall in. And secondly, it like stuff has a maximum velocity. When it's falling, it's going to reach a certain velocity, and air is going to slow it down. So even if it's falling from 3,000 feet up, it's only going to reach a certain speed limit because the air is actually naturally going to slow it.
I
So
don't
it
think they
will
hit
hurt
my
you, but it won't
baseballs
kill
at
you.
terminal velocity.
So it'll hurt, but won't kill you.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just-
So like meteor, I give you an example.
but it's considered a near-death experience. I think
It might be close
won't
enough.
kill
You might not feel good after
Right.
it.
You might be on life support forever. But
Well, let's put it this way, right? Let's put it this way. When meteors, like you've heard of bolides, when they actually explode in the atmosphere, right? You know how they explode really, really high up, and when they fall, you don't hear them falling in most cases, because when they explode, what happens? What falls in meets denser atmosphere and actually comes down like rain. So, like we had a meteor that happened a couple of years ago here in Michigan. It exploded over land. And we found it because the local radar in the airports and in the military bases picked it up as rainfall. The sky was clear because the particles are falling, right?
Russia had that meteor a few years ago, and they found a really big chunk of that.
That was different because there was a lot of iron core in that one, and it exploded low in the atmosphere, and the sonic boom shattered the glass. That's what happened there. But most blow up really, really high up, and they get to a certain point, and they actually end up falling fairly slow. Like if a piece of that, like they fell on a lot of those. The one here in Michigan landed over frozen lakes, and they were on the surface. They didn't actually embed themselves in the ice.
Wow.
They would pick up the pieces on the surface of the ice.
And they're meteoroids when they land, right? Once they're in the atmosphere and hit.
It's a meteorite.
It's a meteorite when it lands, and it's a meteoroid when
it's a meteor in the sky.
In the meteor in the sky.
What's the meteoroid? A game?
Yes.
And how
that's a dumb phone, an Android
millions of dollars. Years ago, I heard meteorites can be worth millions of dollars if someone finds one.
Well, what is it in Arizona? They've got like a whole big area where you go and you can find like little ones because they're all over the place.
Because they're on that meteorite bed.
Yeah.
Area. There's volcanic rock.
The big one in Australia.
Well, the iron is so dense, right? It's so dense.
Most of them are not made of iron.
Okay.
Most of them are made of
stone or glass.
Silicon, right?
Yeah.
Like stone. So they actually shatter. When they come in, what happens is as they enter in our atmosphere, they're moving at about 1,500 or about 2,000 miles per hour. And as they enter the atmosphere, they meet air resistance, and that causes them to ablate and heat up.
Well, here's what Ike didn't know.
They scatter and they crack.
So Ike didn't know a meteoroid is a body moving in the solar system that would become a meteor if it entered the Earth's atmosphere.
He's only Ike, he's not Google.
Well, everything is everything, right?
Yeah.
Just wait, I'll Ike it. I mean, I'll Google it.
We don't know this, but Ike is so smart that he's Googling really fast while he's answering all these questions all these weeks.
Actually, I'm not, but
no, he's not. It's already pulled up. he's already got all his other screens.
It's on my 50 screens.
Yes, so it's a meteoroid outside the atmosphere, and then it's a meteor right
if it hits the
when
atmosphere.
It comes in. Okay.
And if it hits the ground, it's a meteorite.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever you pick, I have some
that's big.
of meteorites. Some of one of them is nickel iron, so it actually came from a core of a planet that died, right?
That's sad.
And then it'll happen to us in about 5 billion years or so.
Give or take.
This is all theory, remember?
Yeah.
Here's a little thought experiment. Let's just say there's a meteoroid or whatever this thing is floating around out there, and somebody flies out there, grabs it, and brings it back to Earth. Is it a meteorite when it's back on Earth?
No, because it hasn't passed through our atmosphere.
And if somebody flies out there to get it, it changes direction and takes off, and it's a UFO, no longer a meteorite.
So
then it's called a meteor wrong.
Wait, Liam, if somebody brings one to Earth, it has not passed through the atmosphere?
Well, it hasn't been ablated by the atmosphere, so I don't think it gets classified as that.
Okay, tow it back.
Out the window.
No.
On the way back.
I'm sure
if you throw out the window on the way back, you're dead because you got sucked out the window.
I'm sure most people have heard about that giant meteorite space rock that's in the distant end of the edge of the galaxy. It's 700 miles long, coming across our solar system, and then it changed course and went the other direction, but it looked like a big rock on a telescope.
Was that
Oh, but it accelerated or something.
Is that the
It's an
one that
alien
came after-
personnel carrier. Yes, and then it got faster as it left.
Something happened. They changed directions.
Is that the one that with the Hawaiian name?
The Mau Mau or
Yeah.
Mau, whatever.
Hey, we got Mylan popping in, guys. 3D print newbie. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey,
Good to see you.
You're
You're
home.
not in hospital. Great.
yeah,
Excellent.
feeling better?
Yeah. No, not feeling better, but I'm home now.
Well,
I gotta go
that's-
back for some more tests.
He's missing the blanket baths.
Well, you look good. The way you typed earlier, you had all those J's. I thought you were on your medication because all them J's didn't make any sense.
No, for some reason I don't know why the keyboard that goes to my tablet, the J, actually the G, the H, and the space bar don't want to work anymore.
Wow.
It's a Fenty keyboard, so I'm just gonna order another one. I don't know what happened to it, so I'm just gonna order another one. So I can't.
Amazon is your
use the
friend. You can
G,
have it in
H,
2
and
days.
space bar. I'm sorry.
I say Amazon is your friend. You can have it in 2 days.
Yeah. I should
you
own
can get-
stock in Amazon as much crap as I order from them.
Same day. Have you started to see the same day deliveries here, Jerry? From Amazon?
I haven't
You
ordered
pay
any
like
food
an
or anything
extra
from them.
$5 or something, and they'll bring it today.
It depends.
Not everything,
If it's in a local warehouse, they'll
right?
deliver
Yeah,
today.
if it's here, yeah.
Yeah.
And we got what, 2 or 3 of them here.
There's a couple really big hubs here, yeah. At least 2.
Yeah, but they won't have always have all the products. But if it's a
No,
product
they won't
you've
have
ordered-
everything.
But if it's a product you've ordered on a regular basis, they would actually start stocking it locally, and then you can get the 1 day turnaround.
Yeah,
Okay.
normally for me, I'll get probably about 2 days. I'll get it.
But it depends on the product. Like if it is in a local warehouse, they will.
Yeah.
And if you order really early in the morning, or even late the night before, you'll have it the following day, or same day. It depends if it is local.
Or if you're
Yeah.
Liam, you get all the speed controllers that Jerry burned up and returned.
Apparently, yes, they did.
Yeah, when you return something to Amazon, it does not go back on the shelf. They do other things with it, auction it off, whatever they do with it. But
Sometimes.
back-
Well, I'll
company
tell you this,
sells
though, one of my other aides, she showed me this thing on her phone, and where you can buy pallets from Amazon. And she got her first pallet. She only spent $35, and the amount of stuff she got on there was equal to about $700. She got
Yeah.
several of the Beats headphones, a couple other stuff like that, and she sold it all. And she only spent $35. And a friend of hers got her linked up with that, and her friend has spent $65. And they bring a whole entire pallet to your house. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll have different categories. They'll say like, this
Electronics
pallet has
or
at least
tools or-
$2,000 worth of stuff, or this one has $1,500, or this one has $500 worth of stuff. It'll say it's at least valued at $500 inside, but you
wonder if there's
you don't know what's in it until you bought it.
I
and
wonder
get
if there's a
it.
limit on before you can
And
sell
you
it.
don't know
Though.
the condition of it either.
There's none. There's no conditions on about selling it because you own it now.
Yeah, you bought it. Yeah.
But
Yeah, the
first of
only
all,
place-
the thing about it is, though, it might say that it's the pallet's worth $1,500, but you don't know the condition of
Right,
the things that you're
right,
buying.
right.
You don't know.
You
Water
might get
damage.
$1,500 worth of shoelaces.
Yeah.
You might, yeah. You know, you don't
Well,
know. You don't
the
know what's in there.
The only limitation where you have through Amazon, if where you have a limitation on when you can sell stuff, is if you're part of Vine. If
Yeah.
you're part of, if you're an
Like
Amazon
Maurice.
Vine reviewer,
Yeah.
which is
But
very,
you got to be
you have to be
careful
divided
because
to that.
that's why they all have these goofy names. If you look at all these products, they have these weird names because they're covering up so that they can get good reviews and they can pay somebody under the table.
But no,
If they
Vine
get
is
caught, they're all done with Amazon.
I know.
That's why they got all
Vine
these
is an
strange
Amazon
names.
program where they send you their
Okay.
products and you review them. It's from Amazon. That's a legal program, but you have to be chosen by Amazon randomly. Nourish,
Yeah.
the 3D print, today's 3D print does that. But the problem is, at the end of the year, you have to pay taxes on all that stuff.
Yeah, because it's income.
$20,000 worth of stuff
Yeah.
you got all year. That
I-
you thought, wow, look what I got. I got a $4,000 TV. You're going to get taxed on it. So
I don't
I'm
think
not
he
sure.
calculated things
Okay,
right
so-
because I think he's going to get pounded at the end of the year.
Well,
I don't think
he's already done
He
with
does.
tax season once with it, and I've never asked him. I'm sure it was on one of his live streams how that worked out.
He does.
Yeah.
He explains how it works, and it's
Yeah.
all taxed. And
If you're-
it says he has to pay tax as
If
part of
you're
his
a Prime
income.
member,
Yeah, but you're missing one part though. Yes, you are correct about all of that, except he has a business because his whole business is YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So he reviews as his business.
Right.
So this is, even though he buys these in, he uses
write them
them
off.
for his business. Now it's a tax write-off.
Yeah, he writes them off. A lot of it.
I know,
as a
but he
loss
bought
or-
a lot of
yeah.
stuff. And
I know,
I'm
but-
talking
Then he
a
has to wait
massive
like
amount.
6
I
months.
think he's going to get. I hope he talked to the right accountant because I think he's going to get.
About
I don't
100K. He was saying the other day it was about 100K a year.
what were you going to say, Jerry?
And I think he has to. I think he said he has to wait like 6 months or something before he can
Right.
ever give away or sell
Exactly.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They
then
have to
again-
be in your possession for 6 months.
But then
Okay,
again,
well,
what you do
William-
offline and nobody knows about it's a whole nother story. So.
Unless they give you permission, because I know once he had gotten some stuff for his sister, like when his sister had a baby, and he was able to get like a car seat carrier, and he got it. He made an agreement with them to give it to her to review. He would still do the review, but she was going to do like the real use case of it, because what's he going to do with it, right? So she was going to do the practical part, and he would do the review, and she would be able to keep it, and they were okay with that. But I doubt they would do that for
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, now-
everything or all
He
the
could set
time.
his-
Yeah.
He could
Now,
have used. He
being
set
a-
his. He could set a garbage can on it, roll out
being
some streets.
a Prime member, does that work together?
Say
What's
again,
that?
Milan. Say again.
You guys mentioned about being a Prime reviewer, and there's also the Prime membership. So
Oh
is
no,
that-
Vine,
No, it's called- it's
VINE.
Yeah, it's called Vine, and you have to.
Yeah,
You can't join it. They have to get a hold of you
They
and say,
invite
"Hey."
you.
yeah.
They invite you, and it only happens to so many.
And
I
the
think
only
he'd come
way
out
you-
like a bandit if he turned around after that time and started reselling it on eBay. I think it would. The only thing that's going to burn him a little bit is he's going to have to really undercut because of shipping.
And the only way you might ever get asked to join Vine is if you review all the stuff that you buy anyway,
Yeah.
and they see that you're good at doing reviews and you're posting pictures and extensive reviews. If you never leave feedback on 90% of the stuff you order, it's never going to happen. But I personally
Yeah.
would want to be on Vine. I don't have the time to do all that. I got enough going on as it is, and I'm behind in all my projects now. I wouldn't want to be on Vine. Hey, Tripod.
Yeah,
Hey,
I wouldn't want to do that either. And plus, wouldn't they expect you to give a good review on all the products?
No,
You
No, you got to be
No,
honest.
yeah.
You got to be honest, or nobody will start watching your reviews
it's
and
a,
that.
it's a program through
That's
Amazon.
what,
So you need.
that's what I would think too. You got to be honest. If something's a piece of crap, you say, "Hey, this is a piece of crap."
Yes,
If something's good, then you're going to say, "Hey, it's good."
yeah, that's why
Well,
it's an
I'm not-
Amazon-run program, and you have to be honest in your reviews.
Explain why it's good or why it's
Explain
bad.
what's
Whatever
good, what's bad, photographs, video, whatever you can, to give as much detail of the issues you found and what things should be changed to make the product better. That's what
Yeah,
it means.
it's your credibility. If somebody sent you something, you got to tell the truth. Because once your credibility is out the window, you're done.
Every
Yeah.
time I buy anything, I base it off reviews. I've seen a couple things. I really like the live write-up and the picture, like Jason with buying a control board for that laser. And then I go and I read the reviews. I'm seeing all these 1 stars, and I'm reading why it's well, I ain't buying that one, and then I move on.
Yeah,
So reviews mean everything in the world to me. I got to have,
yeah.
you know.
No, and they know that, and you know, there's companies that hire other companies to do those scam reviews where they'll
Yep.
email people, hey, we'll give you this and we'll refund you after a 5-star review or whatever.
I've
I
gotten
get
a few
those
of those.
emails all the time. I'm like, just delete
Yeah.
them.
I've gotten a few. I actually got one last night, and they wanted me to do it, and I said no. And they said, but and what they do now is, instead of the company doing it themselves directly, they pay an agency to do that
Mhm.
for them. That way, then they're shielded, saying, "Oh, it's not us. They're asking you people to do that. We're not doing it." So they have an
course they are.
agency that they pay to do it. That way,
But
then
it's so
they
obvious.
move
It's so
the-
obvious.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're moving the responsibility to try and
Yeah.
shield themselves. Is what they're
If
doing.
a Chinese company wants me to review something, but I need to buy it off Amazon, they have to reimburse me before I get it in the mail. They need to reimburse me. If I order it, I need to give them my receipt. They need to reimburse me before I get it in the mail and review anything. That way I'm a verified purchaser and I can leave them an honest review, but they have to reimburse me first. If they say they're going to do it after the fact, well, then that's a paid review. It's illegal. I can get kicked off Amazon and so can them.
Yeah. Well, I won't do. I actually don't do those reviews. I say no to doing that.
That's the thing. They can give you a code. If they're like, go on Amazon and buy it, then they can give you a code that zeroes out the price.
That's never happened. I've done this for 5 years.
Because they don't. Yeah, they don't want to.
Yeah,
but they can.
Yeah, they can give you a code, or they can ship you straight from their Amazon store.
Well, you have to be a verified purchaser in order to leave them a review that actually helps them out.
Yeah, but if they
even if you use the code, you still purchased it. It's just a coupon, just like if it was 99% off or 100% off. It doesn't matter. Then it's considered a purchase at a zero cost.
I don't know.
And then you're a verified purchaser.
There's ways around it.
Yeah.
There's ways around it. That's why you got all these funny names. Like I just looked up switches. Well, one says Nightlight. The other one says they got these funny names, and that's why they're doing it, to get around it. They get all these funny names, so it's harder for Amazon to track them.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they'll take like like a real store, like let's say it's, I don't know, Chevrolet, right? If Chevy wanted to sell parts on Amazon, they would have the Chevrolet store. Then someone would open a new, a knockoff company would call theirs the real, Chevy store, or the the official, or Chevy official instead of official Chevy. And then there's 1,000 things with that, and you're like, who's the real one?
Yeah, and Corality has that problem. Corality has that problem. You have the Corality, and then you have the Corality.shop, which is not them at all. And then you have a Corality official. Again, I think that's the only one that's really them. But there is a few of them out there that are like that.
Well, Creality a while back, I think they came out and said that the Creality.shop is an official reseller, just not necessarily them.
This is my best aid, Mr. Gina.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello there.
Hello.
They were
How you
saying
doing?
hi to my nurse when I was in the hospital. She's calling now, Jerry. You know, I'm
We all feel sorry for her. She has to put up with you every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emails from companies all the time. Chase sent me one a week ago stating that there's suspicious activity. They froze my card, but the return email 100 million letters and symbols, and it's bogus. So I went to the actual company, and I had no messages. Everything is fine.
But what you do in those cases is you report them to Chase or whoever it is. You need to report them because they have agencies that they deal with who track these guys down, right? They put them on blacklists so the emails get blocked before they even reach end users.
As a first resin printer, it's going to take too much resin to fill it up. You need something small to learn with, or a mid-sized resin printer. That 8K is nice. If you happen to be one of the lucky people to get it for $600, I hate to think what they're going to charge to ship it, but as a first printer, I'd say no. You need to start with something small.
I would love to have one of them.
It's going to take so much resin to put in that vat to fill it up. You'll be putting 2 liters of resin in it just to do a print.
You'd have to buy.
But if your goal is to resin print large things, don't start on a small one. Start on a big one, but like Jerry said, know the costs. It's going to cost more to print bigger things, just like in FDM. If you want to print big things, it's going to take more filament.
You have to buy the big gallon jugs of
5 liters or 5.
Well, what's bad about buying a gallon jug?
Not 5 liters.
If you figure out what does it cost to buy a liter jug versus 5 of them, they're usually not giving you a deal, so there's no reason to buy a gallon jug. I've added up a few different companies. I just multiply it times 5 or whatever. And it's like, well, that's no savings. Sometimes it's priced more. Sometimes you're saving $5. Whoop-de-doo, I'd rather have individual bottles.
They don't
did all the
commodity scale there. Yeah.
Those resin bags, those things are just mint collectors, right? They'll just pull dust out of them.
There was a video by Angus from Maker's Muse, and he put it out yesterday or today, and he was using a very large resin printer. And he was saying that it was taking him a liter and a half.
That was the one.
Yeah.
the Frozen 8K.
That was the mega. That
Yeah.
was the mega 8K.
It was taking him at least 1.5 liters of resin to fill it up, and even on one of the prints, he ran out and had to switch over to another liter with a different color to finish the print.
I've had that happen on my mid-size. I've got a couple bottles of resin. I'll be reviewing it for a company, but the print I'm doing is going to take too much to finish it. So I've got to take whatever other resin I have done up in it just so it don't run it dry. That's why sometimes you might want a small resin printer or a mid-size, because you're not always going to print with that big resin printer.
I did all the calculations, and you have to charge at least, and I get pretty good money for the FDM. You got to charge 3 times more for the resin prints to come out ahead. It's just not feasible.
The cost of the cleaning materials, the solvent, the cost of,
and then the materials are and then some of the materials are more brittle, and if you put oil, are they going to work better with gears?
More likely to break in shipping.
My whole life, everything has been a markup of 3 times. And then if you're painting and doing stuff like that, well, then you got to figure that in. But I've always marked everything up 3 times.
At least.
Now, Jerry, you were talking about how that company basically got you for some money, and they gave you the long address, and you had to contact the company to try and get your money back.
No. I just got an email from Chase. They said it was from Chase that there's fraudulent activity on my card. Click here and do this. But when I looked at the return address, it was something made up from Timbuktu with a big long address that wasn't from Chase. So the first thing I did was I went on my account on Chase, and there was nothing going on. It was just some bogus crap. That was my spam folder.
About a month and a half ago, I ordered some of these puck lights from Dollar Tree, and I got through the whole entire process, put in the card information, everything else. It finishes and says, "Oh, we're sorry, this product is not in stock right now." So they refunded me my money. Well, when I'm laying in the hospital this last time I talked to you guys, my phone goes off, and it says, "Is Dollar Tree charging me for this case of 36 lights?" I call my bank so damn quick. I'm like, "No, y'all better call somebody and get this stopped." And they got stopped. The bank refunded me my money. The next day, which was yesterday, the lights came. So I went in and called my bank back, told them that I did receive the lights, and I was taking them back to the nearest Dollar Tree. I was going to get the manager's name, store number, store ID, everything else. They can verify to the life of return. Because I didn't want them anymore.
I got a question for Auto Drop. Have you been doing anything with your belt printers, or how's your business going, or anything you want to talk about there?
No, there's going to be some stuff coming out with changes to the software soon. We added a shopping cart functionality, which makes it really easy to use the website to just order the parts off. And we're doing a whole bunch of work on the CAD software right now, which is going to be really, really, really nice. Probably competitive with some of these other parametric modelers out there. So, that'll be really good, especially for people who are concerned about, cloud-based software and, not being able to run it if, the company decides to do something weird. We've got the CAD software all open source, so, you're not stuck with us if something happens.
Nice.
Would you like to post a link to your company in chat? Or if you're not a mod, type in anything on YouTube. I'll mod you, and then you can post a link.
Oh, yeah. I'll let me hop onto the YouTube.
If you already have a wrench, and you don't need to do that. But if you don't already have a wrench, I can give you one that you're welcome to post to promote your company.
Yeah, we got something coming out tomorrow. Keep an eye out for a video.
On Facebook and Twitter?
Yeah, it'll be. I'll tweet it out, but there should be a video coming out this weekend with some really cool stuff. I can't really talk about it just yet, but
all right. Yeah, but anything anybody wants to share, we're here to. We would love to hear about it. Anybody watching, if you have any comments, questions, or you want to drop in, you're always welcome to do so, as long as it's hobby related.
I want some of Mike's belt printers because I need it for Toys for Tots.
Hey, I have right now a CR30, which I would sell for less than the sticker price, brand new in the box. But I got a deal on it when I got it. I have a couple of belt printers right now, so if somebody needs a belt printer, I could do something a little bit cheaper than what the actual sticker is on those.
Yeah, but I don't have the $500 or $600 to buy one.
What state are you in?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Now, I've been trying to get credit to give me one.
If anybody lives near Connecticut, you can probably get a great deal on shipping.
Now, I've been trying to get credit for this project. I've been trying to talk credit into and I'm not making any headway.
Well, they're selling it for like $1,100 or $1,200 now. It's not even $1,000.
I want them to give me one for the Toys for Tots, so they get their name associated with the project.
I have a question for you. Why would you want a belt printer?
Because
I can put up for Toys for Tots, because I'm printing toys to give for charity.
I see that. Yep.
Yeah, I can set it up and you just keep going and going and going with a 10K spool at the background and just keep printing.
You could do that with the printers you already have for less than a quarter of the price of a belt printer.
Yeah,
and I never seen a. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I never seen a belt printer. I'm talking about when the head is tipped like that. I never seen a belt printer do a good print yet.
Oh no, they do.
Am I wrong?
I've seen them really good prints.
Everything's an outside wall.
Why won't you take one of the printers you already have? Like that's what I do with my printers, and just make it so it continuously prints. You could either use that sequential printing and then have it cool down and push all the parts off, and then continue on and just keep doing it over and over. You're going to have a lot more success, I think, than a belt printer as far as resolution.
You're talking about the head pushing the print off.
Yeah. You do sequential printing. You got five of your toys on there. Then it cools down. You put it in the G code. It cools down a while, and then it comes down and it pushes them all off in a box, and it repeats and goes over and over and over.
And you wouldn't be able to have a brim on it because the brim would still be on the bed. So you'd have.
And you're gonna have a well. His trains that he's printed, I wouldn't have no kind of sticking whatsoever. They're gonna hold the way it is. But why would you buy a belt printer? Your resolution is going to be 10 times better than on a belt printer.
The resolution on a belt printer is the same as you can get on a normal printer.
I'd have to see that.
And I haven't seen any prints.
I pop maybe later on back in.
Well, I'm going to be going soon as well because I have to go load up my truck with my telescope.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt, for dropping in. Liam, whenever you go, thank you very much for coming in. You guys are always welcome.
I'll stick around for a few more minutes, but I'll be leaving soon though because of that. We have my club members. We're not doing public events because because of all the Delta and the variants that are out there right now. So we're still doing just club member only events, but we have one tonight. I just hope we can see through the smoke in the atmosphere, because right now it's if you look at the smoke map, the atmospheric smoke map, we're under it. Our whole area is deep purple. That means like it's bad up there. With high altitude.
If you'd had one of Dixon's lamps, you could have burnt through the smoke and not been a problem.
Oh yeah, we could use Dixon's light. Yeah, that's right.
Don't you have a big fan you can plug in to blow it out of the way so you can see?
No, I was going to invite some politicians so the hot air would clear it out, but no.
There you go.
That's what I always say. We should always invite the politicians to astronomy events. All that hot air will keep away the clouds.
That's wrong on so many levels.
But true.
It is true.
Okay, Ike, I got a question for you. Do you think that Heavy and Starship's going to get off the pad without blowing up?
First time, maybe. Maybe. He's basically upsizing a rocket he already has, right? And he's putting a lot more engines on it, and he will static fire test it many, many, many times before. And he's going to do static fire tests later this week, is what he's planning, or next week.
Next week. Yeah.
So chances are, if the static fires, everything goes okay. When he get off the pad, chances are good, right? Because all he's doing is pushing it straight up, right? Will he land it afterwards? Not sure. It is the first time trying it.
Well, he said they were both going to splash down in the ocean. But here's my question, and I'm sure you can answer it. Okay. Most of the time, when the first stage separates from the second stage, it's some sort of disconnect release system.
Yep.
Now he's trying to use gravity and inertia to do that.
Well, he has to disconnect and then let gravity do a lot of the work because it falls back. Because what they do is they get to a certain altitude, which is well above the common line, where there's less atmosphere up beyond max Q, and then when they separate, the first stage gravity will pull it down because the engine of the second stage ignite, and that pushes it forward. So it's accelerating, but stage one is not moving fast enough to keep going on into space. So it just falls back because gravity takes over.
Okay.
Here's Autodrop's link right here. Anything you want to say about it, Mike?
Oh, I was just tossing that link out there. So yeah, that's the we got the Autodrop platform, which lets you put your printers on the cloud, and they will automatically start printing as soon as somebody places their order and pays for their order. Nobody's sending G-code to your printers. You can trust it. Like, it slices with actual settings that you set up. And some of the other stuff that we got, which is that browser-based CAD, that's going to have some major updates here soon. So, yeah, we got all sorts of cool stuff.
Now, is that the program you were talking about before where you help print stuff for other people?
Yeah. So, yeah, you take your printers and you toss a Raspberry Pi on there. You can take a Raspberry Pi with a screen or without, and you can just plug it onto your printer. And you can use either Octoprint or you can use our own G-code sender client, which both of them work. We have a method of doing automatic injection, which we sell some printers for, but we also allow any other company that wants to make printers with that injector license it for pretty cheap. And, it's pretty cool with all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we got all sorts of different stuff. I mean, we use it over at our local makerspace. That's kind of how things started. And we went from having, 5 or 10 people who could consistently always, break the printers to having the printers accessible for 30 to 40 people who are able to consistently use them without anything screwing up.
Does it have like a queue system? So if you got 40 people trying to get to one printer, first come, first serve?
It's got a queue system, and it automatically routes to machines if you have multiple machines. So if you got 6 machines, and you have 3 of them that are, gray PLA, it will route the prints that are gray PLA to the machines that it will fit on.
Okay.
Okay, but you have to have the Octoprint, though, right?
You have Octoprint or our client. We have our own little operating system that you can load on the Raspberry Pi, which has a 3D print client which grabs the things and sends the G-code. Takes pictures also, so you put a camera on it. It gives you updates every 30 seconds of the print. Sends a picture at the end to the client.
And your printers are conventional printers, the same thing. It wipes it, and then it drops it through a chute into a bucket or something. Isn't that how it worked with you, Mike, or using them on your belt printers?
It'll work on the belt printers also. So we did a whole bunch of software to get it so that it would be able to run the belt printers. But we have our own auto ejector for traditional machines, which are, if you have a stationary build plate, you can build an ejector for that pretty easily. Or if you have a build plate which lowers in the Z direction. Bed slingers, they're just not great for auto ejectors because you can't really put anything that's going to use a lot of force on there. And then with our ejector that we developed originally, we print out a little raft underneath it, which is actually tapered on one side. So when it slides the bed forward under the stationary blade, it basically will always peel off.
It gives it a lift point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was our thing, all about reliability. And any arbitrary part, you could just send it and it would do it.
It
When
sounds
did you start on the CAD?
I'm
When did you
interested in
start
doing
on
it.
developing
I
that?
just don't have
One second.
any of my machines.
So the CAD, one of the guys who's part of the company, that was his project originally, and I was looking for a two-dimensional sketcher at the time because I was thinking about trying to do some kind of a 3D CAD thing, and this guy already had a whole bunch of stuff already done, and it has a two-dimensional sketcher, so you got all your constraints and all that. Like your parallels, your is, standard kind of stuff there. And we're retooling right now for the engine internals, for the BREP engine and all that. So we got some stuff for importing and exporting step files, which is going to be really being deployed here soon. And then some of the more resilient part history stuff, which is going to be coming out here soon.
Okay, do not let John Mack have access because you'll wake up in the morning and all your printers will print back. Will be full. Will be printing dicks all night long.
I don't care as long as he's got a valid credit card.
Because that's what John Mack has a little bag in his desk. It's a bag
Look,
of dicks.
if John Mack has a valid credit card, I don't care what he's printing.
Yep.
Good point. Good
You
point.
think
Right.
that wasn't the first thing that I got a pile of when we put this thing public on the internet?
I can imagine what you got to pay.
Yeah.
These are the
very
things
first thing. Before we had user accounts, before we had anything like that, I ended up with a very large pile of phallic-shaped objects.
And here's my question: If I put on print
How
on
much
my
did it-
machine, and I started printing stuff for you guys, how much do I get paid?
So if you put your printer on our network, right, you get paid 90%, right? We take 10, and that's for handling the slicing and orchestrating, pushing the machine, the prints to your machines and all that. And you set your prices based on whatever you want. So you set your prices for your material. I recommend set it to 3 to 5 times what your actual cost of filament and electricity it is. You know what I mean?
Well, if you're talking about glue stick, if you use a PEI sheet, you can print straight onto with PETG. You can print PETG straight onto PEI sheet, and it'll come off.
Yeah, so will the PEI.
Well, no, it depends. As long as you're not too close in your first layer, you should be fine. But you can
You can get away with it, but it's
and
risky.
magic. If you use magic goo releases when it cools down. So you could do magic goo as well, which will give you the same effect, right? So there are options out there for PETG when you're doing that type of material.
Our auto injector, we actually print straight up onto acrylic.
This is the glue that I use, and I get it in
glue
Dollar
stick,
Tree, and it's like 10 sticks for like $4.
I actually
And
buy
that's
the
glue
jumbo
that I
stick
use.
for
They
of
work
that.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, here's my. Is it a glue stick? When you put on a glue stick, here's what I find. The tiniest layer of it is the best thing. So put on glue stick, right, a small bit of it, drop of water, like a spray bottle of water, and then spread it around. And then because then when there's so little glue on there, when it does cool down, the parts pop off on their own. If you just put the glue stick only on, you're putting it on heavy and you're bonding the part to the bed. You don't want
You don't want to glue it on there like you're trying to weld the part to the bed. No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking of getting the glue stick and dissolving it in warm water, melting it down, and actually using it as a quick spray bottle.
Jerry got a package.
It's like Christmas here. I always got something coming.
Ooh.
Okay, we have to see
Jerry-
what Jerry's got, so
Jerry,
we're going to bring up full
Jerry,
screen.
is that the blow up doll?
No. If I had a doll like that, it cost about $10,000. It would actually look real. But
It's Jerry's
think
bag
the
of
wife
dicks
might
from
be
Mike.
No,
Mike
here's
sent
the
the bag
thing.
of dicks over.
The fact that Jerry actually knows the price of one of those dolls means he's researched them.
If a print fails, you just mark it that it needs to get restarted.
I'm married. Why would I need such a thing, right?
Yeah, why?
It's gone very quiet.
Yeah, we don't know, Jerry. Tell us why.
No. Please explain. With pictures and video.
No, we don't want pictures of
I've been there.
Jerry wants to get his numbers up.
Right?
Okay, this is going to be the control board that I decided to buy, Jason,
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
okay.
for the DIY laser, the Comgrow laser.
25 volt direct or 12 volt?
12 or 24, it's your choice.
So it'll do both. So you want to go for the 24 volts, definitely. Yeah. Still quite small. Yeah.
Yeah, but they are small boards.
Is that for a laser?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or CNC. So
Jerry, what's the blue laser that you kept showing before that you have?
that's a Comgrow 5 watt that I put on my DIY project.
That
And,
looks
5 watt in or 5 watt out?
and then the little tiny board that was on it kind of quit working, so I bought something else. And then next week, Comgrow is going to send me out their DIY laser that they came out with, which is like an Auteur, similar to that style laser. They've been
Yeah.
advertising it on Facebook. I reposted on my group and stuff.
Yeah, they're getting ready to
Now,
release
you gonna
their,
put that on are you gonna put that on the tour, or you gonna put that on the one that you built, like
the one that I built.
again?
I don't have an Auteur. They never sent me one to review, and I can't afford to buy it. So I built my own, and then I got on Amazon. I bought the 5 watt Comgrow laser to put on it. But Comgrow came out with their version of the Auteur that they should be shipping me next week. And I think Liam might be getting one soon, and we both can do videos and review it.
Yep.
And then on my other package here, what do I got? These are probably for the Viper. Yeah, I ordered these yesterday. They came today. So
yeah,
Backlash, the anti-backlash metal. Yeah.
then I don't have to order something plastic from Germany and get it in a month or two, and and however much it would cost. I know the brass is, proven. It's not. It ain't gonna break, so it'll be fine. So, and here my wife, he just came in the kitchen to get some food. We cooked chicken spaghetti yesterday. It's really good.
How the heck do you make chicken spaghetti? Do you
You take a
cut the
couple
chicken
pounds
into
of-
like little strips?
No, you take a couple pounds of chicken thighs, you boil them for like a half hour, 40 minutes, and I cook them in salt. And then you cut them up real fine. You cook a big pack of spaghetti noodles, drain them, dump that in a bowl, put 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup in it. I've got it with garlic. Add that to it. 2 cups.
Hello,
of
Betty.
Hey,
Hello,
chopped
Betty.
up pimentos,
Hey.
chopped up onion, chopped up green pepper.
It's
Mix it all
delicious.
up, bake it in the oven for 45 minutes. It's awesome.
Your daddy.
Hey, Bay, how you doing?
It's okay. It's okay.
You have
okay.
Christmas?
Have whatever you want.
that sounds good, actually.
Yeah, it is really good.
We're
The
good.
only thing that can make that better is breadcrumbs or crackers on top.
Actually, I think it came from Pioneer Women or something online. I can hold the recipe up to the screen if you guys want to screenshot it. It's awesome, and we make it all the time.
You
So-
can I tell you what, you can get the recipe and you can post it on your channel, on your group.
Yeah, 1 second, and I'll grab it.
Are you
Can
a
you
member of
email
the
me a
Pioneer
big
Women,
bowl?
Jerry?
Can you
No.
email me a big bowl full?
Hey,
Well, all you have to do is move your recipe up and hit print, and you'll get a whole bowl of spaghetti there, won't you?
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
Jerry
we'll have
was
to,
the
we'll
wagon
have to,
master.
Too much
We'll have to
Jerry was the
talk to
wagon
Mike.
master for pioneering woman.
we'll have to talk to Mike and have him transfer a bowl
You have to cook that for me too.
to our printers.
I don't know how well that would taste. You'd have to use PLA to get anything that was even slightly palatable.
You still have
How
to
do you know-
I prefer a
Print it,
nice,
boil it.
well-seasoned PLA
Here's
Pro,
the big
personally.
question: is Mike, how do you know PLA is palatable?
I mean, it's more palatable than ABS.
Yeah,
Jerry,
sure.
You just have to
It's
smell it when you're
corn-based.
cooking it.
It's corn
Jerry,
based.
take a photograph
Who's
with
the
your
one
cell
that-
phone.
Who's the one that the bacon PLA?
Yeah, we won't be that. No, that doesn't. That's not clear, Jerry. Take a
That's
photo.
not
with
clear
your
at
cell
all,
phone.
yeah.
Oh, it looks clear to me.
Mike-
Okay.
That's not through us.
It's,
So
it's not.
My
But,
daughter
take a
made that.
snapshot and post it online. Is what you
Yeah,
My daughter
Jerry,
made
your
that
vid-
and sent
it
some
may
over.
it
It's
may
really
be
good.
your ISP, or you may be just capping your bandwidth or something, because your video it's not clear. It's
clear
I mean
now.
it's clear
Clear.
enough, but like if you're not moving, it'll clear up. But when you
It ha-
start
it's-
hing and showing things,
It's something to
it
do with his
gets-
focus because it's real clear right now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's real clear right now.
When he
But
put
even-
that paper
but
up
even
there, the
still, you
focus
can see it
changed.
going in and out. Yeah.
I'm running OBS in the background. It's at 1080p, and I got StreamYard at 1080p. So I don't know.
It must be bandwidth.
How many? What's your frame rate that you're putting out?
I'm not sure.
If you go to in YouTube, you can see your frame rate. If you go to the YouTube Studio, you can see your
Hey,
frame rate there.
Mike, I got a question about your CAD.
I know everybody's better than mine, so
If you're when you get it set up and you can import the step file, can you take it then and export it as STL? Yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because step file is a big key thing. I use 123D AutoCAD, the old
Where in
the old
YouTube
Fusion,
do I see that at, Liam?
and
In
I
YouTube
go
Studio?
to I go to McMaster Car and they got 500,000 things and they have step files and I bring them in and they're all drawn up. I don't got to CAD them.
Let me go there, Jerry, and I can tell you where it is. Just one
Then I
second.
export them as a STL and it works awesome. Like if I want a rack and pinion set, I go right to McMaster Car and I download it and it's all there. I just got to export it as STL and print it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not
Jerry-
gonna condone going and putting on the eye patch and grabbing models, but yes, you can import step files and you can do stuff with them. And there's going to be a whole bunch of new capabilities that happen with that soon. I think there's going to be some breaking changes between the version, unfortunately, but this should be the last time that happens with this particular CAD system, because we're kind of really getting it into a stabilized kind of a thing that we're going to just be adding on to and making sure that there's no regressions, so people can actually start using it to do their projects.
Okay,
Okay,
Liam,
sure.
where's
Jerry?
that, Liam?
If you go into YouTube and if you go to your icon at the top right hand corner, it's like Studio.
Yeah,
And if you're in YouTube Studio,
yeah.
from there you have the option where you have the schedule or create. You see that?
Yeah.
And so let me open up mine. So if you do the go live button, and actually not go live, right? So you on the right hand side you should have the option to if you have a schedule stream, you should see schedule, and this stream should be listed in there.
I've got the upload video, I've got the go live, and I've got the create post.
Hit the go live.
But I'm already live. But
I know, but go live is not going to get you going live.
all right.
And you should see the schedule option. You see the schedule option in the left hand side?
Schedule stream on the right side.
No, do you have a scheduler?
Yeah, it shows this one here.
No, click on if you click on manage. Manage should give you the list of scheduled streams.
Yeah, manage, it shows a list of this one. It says connection excellent green.
Okay, if you open up that, you should see, if you double click on that, not hit go live, just double click on it, you should see your stream throughput.
It's not showing it running. It's like last night where it has that icon where it's still buffering. I am live, but it still says connect stream software to go live.
That's a bug. That's a known bug, but it should still see the frame rate and stuff should be listed in there.
I don't see anything. Let's get it for frame rate.
It's normally on the left-hand side, not the menu, but the left-hand window. As you scroll down, it should show you a frame rate. It should show
manage webcam. Go straight. Says stream webcam manage.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, in manage, you should see the stream. Today's stream, right? The scheduled one for now.
Yeah.
If you go into that one, it should show it to you.
Okay, now I clicked on it, and yeah, I'm seeing everybody's comments. Okay, now it popped up. Now the video actually popped up.
Yeah, and you should be able to see your frame rate there in one of those in the screens there somewhere.
Stream help. Not there.
Stream health should be, if it's shown as excellent, I mean your frame is good, but it should tell you what frame rate it's receiving on YouTube. Do you want to share your screen so I can see what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Everybody, get your screen recorders ready. No, I'm just
Right. And then type your password into a text editor.
Go to
We're going to copy and paste that now.
click on
But
Stream
before
Health.
that, you have to put your credit card number on.
Click on Stream Health, Jerry. Okay, it's just saying excellent. What about activity or analytics? No, it's not giving you the frame rates there.
No, that's the viewers.
It should give you the frame rate. It's not showing it for some reason. Scroll down.
Oh, there's stream settings.
Yeah, no, it should. See, yeah, it's not giving you the frame rate. It should give you the frame rate in there.
It does in OBS. I noticed when I went live yesterday at the bottom of OBS, but then again, I'm running OBS through StreamYard.
Yeah. But it's saying it's excellent, so it's not a bandwidth issue, because if it was, that way it would tell you your frame rate is too low. So I don't know why it is.
But you guys see that, right? When he's still, it clears up. But as soon as you start getting motion at all,
maybe it's the refresh rate of his camera. If your camera refresh rate is not high enough.
Yeah, I think his camera's doing something. That's what
And
it
then
looks like.
you have motion, you have a blurring of the motion.
That's standard widescreen anti-flicker.
Yeah, the OBS test yesterday was clear as a bell. No problems at all.
Autofocus is set to autofocus. I can freeze it, so
no,
it won't change.
It's not focus. It's the refresh rate of the camera, I think, is what it is.
It's a Logitech Brio. They're like $130, $140.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have that camera, but if you have a way of tweaking the refresh rate of the camera,
I don't see it.
Because I mean, you can take the most expensive camera and make it take crappy pictures and video.
Yeah.
I do all the time.
Right? That's what I'm best at.
Yeah. When I remember that lens cap off, the pictures are crap. Yeah.
Hey, kid, how you doing?
All right, so I'm going to drop off, Jerry, because I need to go load up my truck with my scope and stuff.
All righty, let us know if you see any UFOs.
Don't hurt yourself.
Have fun.
No, I'm not bringing the big. I'm not bringing the giant scope. I'm bringing the one I built, which is smaller.
Hey, the grainier the video of the UFO, the better.
Yeah,
apparently, because there's never any clear images of them. So
right. Everybody in the world has a multiple megapixel camera in their pocket all the time, literally, and we still can't get a clear picture of a UFO.
You know, that one
makes you wonder.
Skywalker Ranch that I was watching in Utah, I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. And supposedly on the property, quite often, there's a UFO right there. And I'm thinking, all these episodes you've done for 2 seasons, why don't somebody have a big DSLR with a big, long, honking, like they use it at a stadium or a game? Zoom in on it. It sits there long enough that you're showing us on your, whatever you're taping with, the show with. Why don't you zoom in on it and get a clear picture if that's really a UFO?
That's just
right
too
there.
logical. There's no fun in that.
Hey, Jerry, what they need is a lens like
con. It's called
How
a
can
con.
you get a 3rd or 4th season out of that?
this. See, this is the type of lens they need, Jerry.
I'm sure there's lenses that can zoom in up to 2 or 3 miles away.
The same
real
lens
close.
there, Liam. I got the same.
Does that snap on your iPhone now?
No. And I don't use iPhones. I have no bad apples. I'm sorry.
No, you're not coming up. No.
All right, you're Android.
Kieran, do you have the Gen 1, Gen 2, or Gen 3 of this lens? This is the Gen 2 version.
Oh,
This is Gen 2. Gen 2.
Yeah, that's the Gen 2 version as well.
Doggy cam. Okay, Liam, here goes doggy cam.
Puppies!
Hey!
Oh, he's so happy. Look at that tail going. His whole body's shaking.
Oh, he's even talking.
Liam,
Pretty dog.
Liam,
Yes.
you can improve any Canon camera lens. All you need is a steady hand and red paint, and it magically makes it better. Hand paint the red ring around any standard lens, and it makes it a top range one straight away.
Yep.
Just paint that red ring on. Magically makes it better.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm not doing imaging tonight. I'm only doing visuals, so I'm just bringing my job. I'm not doing imaging tonight because there's too much smoke in the atmosphere. There's no point. Yeah, with the smoke chart, it's we're under a
That's-
purple zone, which means it's really thick up there. So our seeing and transparent clear. We need to get Jason's wife's person on the stream so they can cut him off. So
No, the only thing that's in there is
the pliers come up, and the pliers come in a shop behind Jason.
no. I was given a choice: those in the purse or the credit cards. So I went with here's the credit cards.
which means the same thing, right?
Pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much.
All right, guys, have fun.
Take
See ya.
care.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, here's a link right here from Food Network, chicken spaghetti. I'm not sure if this is where my sister got it, but I think it is. Because it said Pioneer Woman. I typed in chicken spaghetti. So here's that link if you guys want to check it out. It's awesome. It's really good. We make it at least once a month.
Can you recommend any good sewing articles?
I didn't want to make Liam. I didn't want to make him mad. You know how when somebody leaves, you always say nice talking to you. I was going to say nice listening to you, but I don't think I know him well enough.
No.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I've seen that or not. I watch so much stuff, I forget.
The Ring. That's pretty old. The Ring, right?
All right.
It's like you watch a video and a ring comes up or it's on the internet or something, and if you see the ring, you're gonna die in 3 days or something like that. I think that's what the Ring was. I could be wrong. I often am.
Yeah, you're right. It was like you're going to be dead in 72 hours when you saw the Ring if you watched the video.
There you go. There you go. That was like from the 90s, I think, or something, right?
A while
Or-
back now.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
there
old.
was one scary looking girl. Yep.
Yeah, don't look at Mike's.
Yeah, Mike's. Watch out! Mike's flashing his ring. Not a pretty sight. Pull those pants up, Mike. Stop
Oh,
flashing
that's
your
it.
ring.
That's it.
Whoa.
No hangout next Saturday.
Yep.
Okay, so Mike, we all saw the little ring, so we're all going to be dead in 72 hours.
No hangout next week, Milan.
No.
We're all
Quicker,
gone.
you know?
Morse
Mike
code.
broke it.
OBS says
There we
my
are.
CPU usage is 5%, 60. My frame rate FPS is 60.
Oh, drop your FPS to 30. Yeah, 60s. There's no need for that.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You
got
go
all
to
these
settings.
fancy people who care about
Yeah.
having 120 frames per second. The eyes really can't even see that.
Yeah, and when you're trying to push that down a stream, that's just that's double what you're trying to
It's
push.
just burning up bandwidth.
And if you can handle, like if you've got like a 10 gig service and you can push like 4K 60 frames, the video when you're watching it, it looks weird. It looks like a soap opera.
Okay, I'm going to drop off for a second here so I can
Yep.
change it and see the
Yep.
picture of it.
All right.
Or I'll stop the virtual camera for a minute.
All right, guys, give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right,
No
man.
worries, Milan.
No telling dirty jokes while I'm gone. 'cause
We
I
don't tell
want-
dirty. We don't
No,
do that on the
we'll only
channel.
talk about you while you're gone.
No, you don't want to do that. You'll get banned from YouTube.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of channel here. Okay, am I back? Let's see.
Yeah.
Yep, you're back. Yeah,
That's
full screen
better.
it. Full screen.
Now I'm
Full
on
screen.
30.
And it looks
Full screen it
better.
again. Now
Now
hold
hold
that
the
recipe up.
recipe.
Way better. Yeah.
Hold the recipe up. Hold the recipe up.
Oh, the cat's
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Ah,
Much better.
Yeah,
Much
there
better.
you go.
Much better.
There you go.
Take a
Yeah.
snapshot.
Yep. There you go.
Great. No problems at all there, Jerry. That's all it was.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to tweak everything right, and I watch videos. This guy says this. I hear that. I hear this, and I kind of play with things and
More
mess
isn't
it up.
always better. More is not always better for the stream.
Right.
Too many settings.
Yep.
Too many
Nah, it's
softwares
much-
and too many settings.
Thank you for helping me with that.
It looks nice and crisp now. Exactly. Yeah. It looks good
Yeah.
now.
My stream has one
whenever I'm
setting.
whenever
Either
I'm
the
in
USB is
720p,
plugged in or it's not to the webcam.
When you see yourself on camera, you try to get your lighting and everything where you think it looks good, and then the next day or whenever I go rewatch part of the video in the living room on the big TV, it's like, wow, I look like shit, and I don't like the quality being bad because I invest a lot of money and time in all this stuff, and I want it to look good.
Well, it's
Am
more.
I-
It's a more true to life video when you watch it on the big TV. That's never mind.
This screen over here I have must be too big because all I see is his eyeball blinking like this.
We're keeping you up, Mike.
What's going on?
We're keeping you up.
I think we're putting him to sleep.
I've just been tired, and I've had migraines over the past week, so you know. But hey, you know, this is fun.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions in chat, please ask. If you'd like to pop in and hang out, you're very welcome to do so. Please hit the thumbs up and leave a comment, share the screen, subscribe, ring that bell. I try to come out with cool content all the time, and I stream every week, and occasionally I have on special guests. I haven't in a while because I haven't went out and asked this person or that person if they want to come on and do a one-on-one. When I do that, it's usually during the week on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and we just chit-chat back and forth for an hour, and then you find out things about that particular streamer or maker that you may not know based on what videos they currently do.
Okay, Jerry, I got a question for you.
Sure.
When I started out, I started out watching all the YouTube videos and everything else I could before I even bought my first printer. I started out watching you, Joel, Chuck, ZYLTECH, and all of it. Okay. Now, you have a very diverse field you deal with as for printing, painting, and everything else. One thing I have been waiting on, when am I going to see the Echo 1 finished? Painted
My wife says, Jerry, why don't you, or honey, whatever she calls me, the A word, whatever, why don't you work on one part of it every week? Work on this, work on that, and then over time you'll get it done. I just need to, I guess, make room on one of the shelves back here, clear the prints, the lower shelf, set it out here so it's not out of sight, out of mind, and then every week grab some parts and start working on it.
There was actually two things: finishing the Echo 1, and then you did one show, one episode, or show, however you want to call it, to where you were talking about using rubbing buff with a popsicle stick or something like that.
I use
and
either
you could do a show on to show how you did that.
Okay.
Oh, I think the popsicle stick, Milan, was to hit like raised parts of a model, so you can get without like trying to paint thin lines and get it in the crevices. That way you can kind of put some paint on the popsicle stick and hit that raised part, and then it won't go in between.
It's like an oil
to highlight
paint, like toothpaste. If you use your finger is soft, and if you wipe it over the model, you might get too much applied. So if you put it on a paintbrush and dab off all the excess, you can very carefully put it where you want it, or on a popsicle stick, like he says, put on a paper plate or something, squirt out just a little bit, and kind of hit all the raised high areas. But I always prime the model like a high
I was just waiting for you to do a video showing how you did that.
Okay.
And I'm still waiting to see the Echo 1.
Yeah. All right. I'll write it down. I'll see what I can do about both of them.
Milan, I think he did a video when he was doing the Black Panther bust.
But I might have showed it, maybe.
And I think he covered it in there.
Oh, okay.
A little bit anyway. Maybe not in depth, but I think that's where I've seen you do it.
I need to stop you for a minute. We've got a really great guy popping in right now in the background. He does great videos, great content every week, and everybody loves this man. Here he is, the one, the only Tripod's Garage.
Oh,
everyone loves it, man.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, the shit really got deep on that one, didn't it?
Right? He said awesome. I was excited, and then you popped in.
Well, I know. I had 2 legs to get myself out of that big shit stream.
Yeah, Milo, I'll make note of that, and I'll see what I can do about both of those for you. All right.
But it was good. It was good to see Milan did do the important stuff. He mentioned Chuck. He mentioned Joel. But then he also mentioned Jerry, so he'll be careful on what he's actually watching.
The next droid build, I'm not sure when we're all coming back on a droid build, maybe in a couple months, I'm not really sure. But at some point, we may do something, or one of us, we might, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry,
I think that really depends on Sam.
I seen a video a while back where it was part 1 and you were cleaning up. Did you ever make a part 2?
No, but I need to. I just need to straighten up a little bit, get rid of a few more things, or put them in boxes into another room, and then I can do another video.
You still have
because
your
you said there was going to
Ghostbuster
be a
stuff,
part
right?
2.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting rid of that. I've got an
Okay.
8-foot long shelf with nothing but Ghostbuster parts and cards, and there's like, I don't know, tons of resin and probably 10 or 11 rolls of filament tied up and all that.
So by the time you've invented a real proton pack, Milan, that's when his Ecto 1 will be done. About the same time.
I'm almost there.
Oh, well, then you're way ahead of
Jerry's
him.
almost there.
I'm trying to negotiate how I can get some plutonium, and I'll be good to go.
You know, it's easier than you think.
Don't say
Get
any
hold
more
of
than that.
plutonium.
Don't say that, don't say that, Mike. You get
So
us all,
that's-
baby.
That knocking on Mike's door is certain black
Right.
sunglass wearing people having a
Right.
chat to Mike. Yeah.
Well, what was it? The nuclear Boy Scout? He pretended to be a college professor.
That's crazy.
What's been going on, Tripod?
Same old stuff, work and stuff. I'm thinking, I did register for that Rapid Plus thing that's going on in McCormick Place in Chicago.
Is that tomorrow?
And no, it starts on Monday. I'm already registered. I just, it's McCormick Place is a really, really big building. I mean, I want to look at their floor plan, and I mean, I'm interested in some of the things there, but not all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I know Joel's going to be there, but
It's like going to CES here. There's, a million things. I only want to see 2. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Now,
What?
that's
Yeah.
not, they had Murph, which wasn't too big of a turnout. Wasn't there another one after Murph?
Murph was fun.
I
Yeah,
can't
well,
imagine
there's
the
the
did they
people
do
who are
Earth
going to
this year?
CES.
Or is that upcoming?
Who was it, Mike, that filmed the video when it was early in the morning? You're sitting at the table and he walks by and he's kind of filming everything. I forget who did that. One of the people that put it on. And you were hanging out at the table and walked by him kind of like, hi.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of people who were filming.
No, it's one of the videos that was put online from one of the people that promotes it. And you were there early in the morning. It must have been on Sunday, I think. And you're the only one around. You're just hanging out doing something on your phone or whatever, the tablet, whatever it was.
oh yeah,
And he was filming all the booths.
yeah, they do.
Well,
they're doing live-
Tripod was on the one with Murph with Joel.
Yeah, but that's when they were busy. This is when there was nobody in the room.
You know what? Joel walked past and was filming a whole bunch of the different booths, and I had just handed off a printer to Ben Heck. I had just taken a printer and I'd given it away to Ben Heck so he could go and try to play with it, see whether I could get something out of that, get him to post up on it.
And then Matt Farmer was there on a cell phone streaming for 3D Print Noob Group, and he walked by Lightburn's little booth they had, and it's like, Matt, I've typed in chat, give me some stickers. So he grabbed me a couple Lightburn stickers, for my laser or for my software, and he finally mailed them to me. So I got them on my enclosure behind me.
Nice. Well, hey, guys, I'm going to jump off because I'm about as hungry as a hostage on day 3. So,
well, thank you very much for dropping in. I really appreciate it.
I'll be leaving shortly myself because I have.
Have a good one.
Oh, well, if you're leaving soon, John, I might.
Yeah, just caught on really quick to that one.
Was my frame rate last night, Jason? It was on 60. Was it probably looked bad last night then too? But I was
Yes.
streaming with OB. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I kept telling you it was blurry, but now it's better, a lot better. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
you very much.
Good. All right, guys, we'll see you.
Take care.
I don't remember CES ever being at McCormick Place, but I could be wrong. In Chicago, Dominic says that he remembers it being there.
CES was always in Las Vegas, as far as I knew.
Yeah, same here.
I couldn't imagine too many people showing up to that CES because, oh my God, you talk about a place to get sick.
But where
CES, they used to be so crowded.
No, it's canceled. It's been canceled in Vegas the last couple of years. I did go 2 years in a row with my son. He works IT at some of the casinos, and I got to go in with a badge from his whatever casino was he was with. And yeah, there's 100 billion people It's
Yeah,
crazy.
they're gonna have it this year, and like I was saying, I'll bet you it's gonna be way down because I can't imagine.
It'd be in January, so I'm not sure if they'll have it or not.
Well, look, what happens
But
in
see,
Vegas
so
stays in
they've
Vegas.
had what was the concert? The concert they had. I can't remember what state. I'm not sure if it was New York, Chicago, whatever else. And they said you couldn't get in unless you had a valid.
Well, Lollapalooza was in Chicago.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
over
you
1 million
use an
people.
inkjet printer, though.
They didn't cause any
What was it,
super
Mike?
spreader events because they want their money, so they're not going to say anything. So it's their cash cow for Chicago.
So basically, they don't give a flying F about people's health.
Well, no, I mean they had to prove vaccination when they got in, but it's they didn't. I mean, it's Chicago's cash cow, but Chicago's been basically open since beginning of the year practically. So
Yeah, but all you need is an inkjet printer or a laser printer to prove vaccination.
oh, I know. Or to have someone
Yeah,
send them to your
those
card.
cards
Here.
now.
Oh, you don't have yours? Let me send you mine. Well, I mean, that's what happens.
I don't understand why would you want to risk other people's lives just so you can go? Have a good
Because
time?
some people think it's make believe. I have no problem dressing up like a ninja wherever I go. So no problem. It's like Halloween every day. No big deal. It's fine.
There's only so long you can put everybody in the United States under house arrest before people say, "Screw
Yeah.
it, we're
Yeah.
done with this."
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of done with all of it. So I mean,
I don't want to get into
as old too much
politics.
has said,
Yeah. Let's move
there's
away.
hypocrisy everywhere.
Let's move away from the
So,
subject and go back to 3D printing and
Yeah.
lasers and all that stuff.
So
but
anyways, I'm
I'll
gonna
be
say
actually
what
doing
I
my
think.
first. I got a laser review that I'm going to be doing finally, but it won't be for
Tripod, I will tell you this: if they have Murph or whichever you want to call it next year, I'm going to bring both my chairs. That way me and you both can go
John
ride
will need
around.
one. John will need one.
Chair
Yeah.
ride.
Well, I'm going to have
After the
something
last
custom.
one.
No crutches. You can just have my other chair. We can just we'll ride around and terrorize everybody.
I did promise the wife that I'll be bringing something, but I'm going to make something for it.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it won't be CR6 SE powered. So
Okay.
Come on. It's all good now, isn't it? It's all good.
Yeah,
All your problems
I
sorted out?
got 2 car batteries in the bottom of both of mine, so we're rolling.
yeah, it's especially if the floor becomes that way again. But yeah, that was a slick moment. But yeah, I'll probably be doing a laser review. But
What kind of a laser you got? Is it like one of the diode, or you got one of the ones that's got? Like
it's pre-release, so I can't say anything yet about it. So
Stop.
I got a suggestion. Like, if you have one of those sous vide machines, like you get a perfect steak and then put the char marks on it with the laser.
oh well, the thing is I worked at Burger King when I was like 14, and they insisted that because the only flame broil is on one side, that you had to have the flame broil on the one side facing up. That's what they said during training. So,
Oh man.
So people look at their burgers like, wow, that looks awesome.
yeah, but they never look at the underneath, the other side of the patty. But hey,
Perfectly
only flame
flat.
broiled on one side. But yeah, it's you see people that especially these laser companies, they throw like a steak on there or a hot dog, and they just etch into it. I'm like, it's all safe. It's just it's heated up, safer than a microwave or anything else.
Well, you do that sous vide stuff. You got it like perfectly cooked, and then you just put the cedar
65
on.
degrees
There
C.
you go. But it's I don't mind diodes, but the max that they could ever go up to is 10 watts. And then after that, no, it doesn't go any higher as of right now.
Now, see, I would rather get into laser printing. Well, for right now, I'm in an appointment. So, I would rather get into laser printing, which I can't do, CNC in here, the wood chips friggin' everywhere. And with resin printing, there's just too many steps on cleaning, everything else, stuff like that, processing, curing. And I don't have space for that. I mean, I have 6 printers in here as it is now, but I'm looking into going into the laser field. So that's what I'm looking at going into.
Yeah, I want a fiber laser. That's what I really want.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That's what I'm looking for. I bought one on eBay, and I haven't done anything with it.
Expensive. It's like a whole bunch of diode lasers in one, but you can match coins. And Trevor hasn't popped in, but as you know, Trevor has too.
Yeah, I mean,
They did a really nice job.
Yeah, fiber
Yeah, if you're gonna buy one of them, you gotta make money with it. You gotta have a way to make money with it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy something just to have it. I mean, like my printers, I make money with those. So if I buy a laser printer, I want to know what I can do with it.
Make really cool pictures to put all over your walls. Sell your neighbors. Sell your nurse.
The pictures, you can make the drink coasters and stuff like that, little tiles, stuff like that. If I can't make money with it, then there's no need in me buying it.
Well, I mean, one thing with the fiber laser, it etches metal like nothing. I mean, it's awesome. I mean,
what's the good starting point to look at? I mean,
well, the base one is a 20 watt. It's just more passive, and that's going to be like $2,500. It's
they're coming down. They're starting to come down
for a fiber.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, buddy.
And you're talking only about.
I'm looking at spending like $600.
I know, I get it. I'm not saying that it's for everyone, but and you're talking about an etching area of only 120 by 120.
Yep.
Okay.
Where's that coin from Trevor, Jerry? Just show him what it will actually cut into for what a fiber laser will actually do in metal.
We have fiber lasers down at work on a bunch of machines, and they have to be on there because they're so fast how they engrave the barcodes and that.
Yeah, look at that.
That's how
as the product goes by, they burn the barcode and date code and all that. And they have to do it really fast.
That's our friend in Florida, right?
Correct. That's Trevor. Yep, he has the top end fibers.
So that looks like it's like stamped. That's how nice it is.
Yeah, it's burned right into it. So that's very nice. I'll run his video here real quick because I don't think everybody watching has seen Trevor's video, and it helps promote him. So, and I guess he's busy. He didn't pop in today, but here's Trevor's video of a store in Navarre, Florida. I'll run it here real quick.
That's what I thought he was.
It looks like he has a couple of printers.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know his electric bill.
Yeah, if you guys unmute your mics, you can unmute your own mic. You can talk.
Trevor needs to adopt me.
Yeah, this was taken a couple months ago. I forget exactly when it was. Here comes his 2 fiber lasers here.
That's the 2 fiber lasers there. Yeah.
I think one he said the 50, another one I don't remember. I wrote it down, but I don't know where it's at. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
that entry is 15 or 20, and then the price gets absurd, even more absurd. Put it that way when you go above 20.
Nellis Auction had one of those for sale like 6 months ago, and the bids went up to like $2,100, but you don't know what kind of condition it is because you buy things as is on an auction site.
Yeah.
So
our fiber lasers at work, they're about 30,000 a piece, but they have to, as the product's going by real fast, they have to burn the barcode and all that stuff on it on each
So are
page real quick.
are they using mirrors, like 2 mirrors to direct the laser, or are they actually moving laser around?
Nope, we have the mirrors. They have mirrors. They actually have mirrors, and they got round tubes like this, black tubes going down and then down this way, and then it actually goes another one. And as the product goes by, it has to burn the date code and the barcode and all that really fast.
Yeah, my wife was there in July. She met Trevor and his wife and daughter, and she got to check his store out inside the mall.
We actually have to have a special exhaust right next to it to suck the materials away that it fiberite that it burns away, or it will build up.
You don't want to huff those.
Hell no. Vaporized metal particles, not a good way to improve your health. Is that the new Ike post?
Sir, yes, sir. Just come and knock on the door.
It's like you watch those videos. They say, "Hey, look at this really close." You're sitting there staring at it, and then something jumps out at you, makes you jump.
Try to scare you, yeah.
So.
All right, I just wanted to pop on in. I gotta get ready to neighbors poker night. So,
is that how you supplement the income? Is it poker night? At least your neighbors.
Oh, I always do it. So they've been doing it for, neighbors have been there for 16 years, and
and they still invite you?
No, they didn't for a long time, but they're all vets. They're all from not Vietnam. So
Vietnam, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
you don't make any-
friends. Yeah.
You don't make any money off a poker night unless you're the one pulling the rake.
That's it.
Yeah, but
it's the beer and popcorn franchise out the back that makes the money on.
Yeah. But I didn't know. I never asked. It was the same group of guys in the garage, and they smoked like chimneys, so I didn't really want to be in there anyways. But and then one day we got to talking to him, and he said he let me know, my neighbor, that one of his buddies passed away, and then it's like, hey, we got an open spot now. If you want to go. I'm like, oh, so take someone to die to join.
Going to join, yeah, it's bad.
I mean, as
hardcore.
You can picture how old they are in Vietnam, right? So, and and then another one decided not to come anymore, and then my brother joins in now. But first couple months, it's once a month. They're like, who invited this guy? Because I was actually winning.
Let the new win some money, get him suckered in, get the bets up, and
yeah, it's friendly poker. It's a quarter, but it could get really high. I mean, some of the pots get up to like $100. It depends how many times it goes around, right? But yeah,
passes the time, and it's a good night out.
Yeah. I mean, it's cheap if you really think about it. I mean, I've been recycling the same $100 for practically 6 months. So
you got like a big gallon bag?
No,
of quarters. Brings a big bag of quarters.
the
old clock spring. Get the old clock spring one out.
Yeah, just do that.
Oh, look at that! With
now
the
we know where he
dollars.
hides the stash.
Yeah.
Look for the blue one.
Yeah. Oh,
oops. There was his
3
blind.
bumps on a bid.
That was his blind.
So I'm like,
See,
what can I
I
use
thought
that
it was going to
for?
be all quarters.
You're going to put the magnets in that, John? You're going to put magnets in that in the end? You're going to put the magnets in the lid?
Oh, magnets in? Is that what those are for?
Yep. Hang on.
Oh,
there
okay.
we go. There we go. So
I never read the description.
Yeah, so they're 6x3 magnet holes. 6x3 magnets.
Okay.
Oops, hang on. The trick, because the lid can go in 3 different directions, make sure you have your magnets lined up so it'll go in 3 different directions. Otherwise, it repels and doesn't work.
Yep, we'll close.
Yep, yeah. So there's 3 pairs of magnets, but no, it's actually the sound. It's just so satisfying.
Oh,
cool. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, now you gotta do that. I never read the description on it. I thought it was really cool.
So, no, yep, 6 mil diameter by 3 mil magnets, and they just drop in. Yep.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, so the neighbor he holds all the quarters, and usually we just cash in at the end of the night. So that way, there's always quarters there.
Betty Boop, your print just got done. We're talking about what's his name?
Fox Spring? No.
Fox Spring. I heard her phone stand just got done.
Okay.
I had a layer shift on the first one down around 1/4 of an inch. Why that happened, I don't know. So I checked everything, greased everything, reprinted it, and just got done. I done knocked the wax with it.
And there's no gaps this time in the hexagons. It all filled up.
No, but same problem. And actually, a little part broke off. It looks like. Huh.
Yeah, it's good. Let it cool down, Jerry.
I got a glue stick on it. So I got to get my bill tax.
Oh yeah, with the glass beds with the glue stick, I just wait for them to cool, or I just put them underwater and it pops off eventually. I mean, those glue sticks stick too well to that glass bed. Just Elmer's glue stick, and it works great.
Now, a little tiny part broke on this. I'm not sure what I went to, but we're going to find out. And I had the same issue. The same issue on the chair where it's kind of screwed up on the honeycomb.
Okay.
So I had on the last one. But
I
right
gotta
off
put
the
that
build
sometime.
plate, see, it works right off the build plate.
Yep.
I didn't have to unlock anything. It just works.
I think that's one of his best designs. I mean, for something to go together. Torture toaster is really cool, but that's
Put it together like this.
But it's not practical. You can't use it.
that's what I was gonna say, Karen. It was like I like practical prints.
Yep. And that's why the canisters, they're great. I mean, the vases, the wife likes his vases, unfortunately.
Okay,
But
here's where the part broke. Right here where you put the phone. See right here? A little piece of it broke off. I can glue that back on. Once the phone's on it, you'll never know it. But
All right, guys, I'll try to make it next week. So
thank you very much.
Don't lose too much there, John.
Guys, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
You have a great day, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I
what
don't
it
know
is. Yeah, that
why
looks nice. A
honeycombs-
phone holder.
Yep.
I don't know why
And it's
some of those
adjustable.
honeycombs
Yeah.
screwed up, but I can clean it up and they'll still work
Cool.
fine. Just
That's on my list to do. I've got I had to finish my TARDIS first, and that's finished now. That's all.
No, is that on
So,
Thingiverse or Thangs, or you got to buy that one?
my
No, that one's
like $3.50.
yeah.
That's
My
not
my
bad.
mini factory. My mini
Yeah, it's
factory.
like $3
all his
and
models
something.
are on there.
$3 and something cents.
So just search Clock Spring on My Mini Factory. All his models, if you're not a Patreon, he puts them all on My Mini Factory, so you can pick and choose if you want
What's
to.
the name again?
MyMiniFactory.com.
Yeah.
Clock Spring.
Clock Spring. One word. Clock Spring.
Got it.
You can be the good thing is because you can be his Patreon and get them all, or he puts every single model on My Mini Factory as well. So if you like one and don't want to do the Patreon, you can just get the model. That's what John does. He gets them via My Mini Factory. He's not a Patreon supporter, but he still likes the models. Lightburn loves them.
Mr.
Lightburn
Badillo is
loves
a
the models.
Patreon that I have, and when I do different videos for different companies or whatever, I try to diverse what I print. So either the designer sends me something, I tell them I'm going to plug him in the video and I get it free, or I randomly buy them, or I randomly get free prints and use in my videos. It all
Could you
depends.
show it again, Jerry? Zoom in on it. Show it again.
Yeah, hold on. Now, see, some of the honeycomb I had to dig out of it. It didn't print right. And you loosen up this nut on the side, and then it just works. You can adjust.
Oh yeah, it's all the gears.
Yeah.
All the gears in there. Cool.
Planetary gear based, yeah.
And here's one I did in rainbow.
Cool.
Now, like I say, right there, it's screwed up around those honeycombs, and I had to dig that out of there. But when a cell phone's on there, you won't see that.
Sure.
But
The gears almost looks like a setup. What do you call that? I built a robot like that. The planetary gears.
Yeah, it is. It is the planetary. It's called a planetary gear phone holder. That's what he calls it.
And you
But
take
he's
your
big
fingers
on. He's big on mechanical models. So all his stuff
prints
tends
just like
to.
that, and nothing is bound up. It works fine. It just goes through. It just works.
Yeah.
You don't have to free nothing up. It just works great.
So he likes mechanical. He's into mechanical design for mechanical cars. So.
Yep.
So you can see
Cool.
all his containers mechanically designed to lock in, all print in place for all his mechanical stuff.
I just made you bigger if you want to
No,
redo it. I wasn't
Oh,
watching
sorry,
you.
sorry. Here we go. So containers, mechanical
Oh yeah.
for the
Yep,
latches.
cool.
They're all designed to print in place with no supports. So
That takes some nice skill because you gotta.
It does.
Really
If he's broke on it, I'll have to glue it back on.
So they did. And the thing is, they're all available on My Mini Factory, so you
mine
don't
has
have to
that
worry
bridge
about
right
it.
there.
So,
This one broke, but I can glue it. I can clean it up and glue it back in there.
Mine is ripped more than yours.
Huh?
Mine is ripped more than yours on the top.
About the same. I've got to dig out some of that excess, but it still functions, and I can glue that back in.
Okay.
So anyway,
well
Pretty cool.
worth the money just to buy the phone stand alone.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Or if I was in Canada, say sorry, right? Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll miss Tim. Sorry, we'll miss Tim tomorrow, but he's back next week, so that'll be good.
You guys see my ghost I printed? I got off. I don't remember where I got it off of. Thingiverse, I think. I call it the ghost. The ghost that flew through the rainbow is what I called it.
It came out really nice.
You remember Mr. Bill from back in the day? Kind of looks like, oh no, on his face. Came out really good.
Now is the bottom hollow? Like you could just put a light in there?
Yeah.
You could use that as a nice little lampshade.
And I
That's the
didn't.
plan.
I don't do base mode because I like things that are sturdy. I mean, I could probably break it if I tried, but I can't easily crush this. If I dropped it, it's not going to break. It's like my layers on this were 644. So I always print thick and heavy on everything.
Perfect timing for Halloween coming up.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. I haven't been on, and because I've been sick and stuff like that. But I've watched Jerry's stream, Liam's stream, stuff like that. TV3D Dan. He's watched Joel. Has anybody heard or anything about Moses?
Loyal Moses?
Yeah.
He posts on Twitter all the time, but I haven't seen him on any streams. He's on Joel's stream occasionally when Joel's on. You'll see him on there making donations, but he's just busy doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's on Twitter. You can go on Twitter and follow him. You see his posts.
Yeah, I was just hoping he was okay. I mean, even with the streams that I've seen with Joel, I'll get to watch a little bit of them because health and medication and stuff like that. So, but I hadn't seen him on there. So,
Well, speaking of Joel, right? Keep an eye out tomorrow. There's going to be a video coming out that I'm in, which is going to be interesting.
you and Joel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really talk exactly about what it is, but it's gonna drop tomorrow, I think, and it should be pretty good.
Awesome.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah,
I posted the link to Clock Springs models on My Mini Factory in the channel there.
all right.
I follow
once I get done
talking.
with this neck surgery and everything else, then I'll start doing my little streams after that. So it's a little difficult right now. So
I was supposed to go to the hospital Tuesday to have a procedure done, and they want $450 for a copay that I don't have, so I canceled all of it. And I said, well, one of these days, if I'm ever back in the hospital, I'll meet my yearly max being in the hospital for one day. Then I can schedule it, because then you're good for the whole year. No matter what you have done, it's covered 100%. So,
okay.
Anyway.
Dominic, they're not pronounced the same way. It's money and mini. Money and mini. Do they sound the same to you? It's money and mini.
I subscribed to a thing. It's called years ago. It's called King Mechanical, and if you ever go on there, they show millions of ways to make things move. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, there's lots of ways to make things move. Yep. Mechanical engineering with your how to actually do the best stuff is the old Victorian engineers, how they got their stuff to move.
Yeah,
Brilliant
Joel used to pop into my Hangouts once in a blue moon a really long time ago, right around when all this stuff first started happening last year. And then I had him on as a special guest, but I haven't seen him pop in on a Hangout since. So guess he's just busy. A lot going on.
I think he's going to whatever that event is tomorrow or the next week.
The one that John was talking about.
Yeah, the big thing in
Chicago.
I don't know where it is.
Was it Chicago?
Even the guys from the first layer, they just had a video just the other day, a stream the other day, and I hadn't seen them on in a little bit.
Rapid, I think that's what it was.
Rapid Tech. Okay.
Anybody in chat have any questions, or you'd like to pop in and hang out? I can post the link if you want to come and hang out and chat about hobby stuff.
Jerry, what's that you got running in the background?
Making noise?
The red print. He's talking about your red print on your foldable printer.
Oh yeah, that's instead of the coffee cup that looks like it's pouring coffee that like suspended in midair, it's a skull that looks like it's pouring blood out of the head.
Oh, okay.
You can see these. Yeah, the camera's not showing the right side. You want to see the other side showing the blood splashing. There we go. See?
It's like a splash, and this will come out of it. Once it's done, I'll change the white filament since I got red and white from the company, and then I'll print the coffee cup and put it together.
Okay. Well, I'm on my tablet, not on the big screen in the living room. So.
Okay. Then here's, you'll see, here's another picture of it here somewhere. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
The splash looks good.
Yeah, I got on Thingiverse and I just typed in. I don't remember what splash cup, whatever. I just kept typing until I finally found one. Cool. Looks like a skull. And then I got supports underneath the part of it you can see there, so I'll just peel off of it. That'll be done here in just a little bit, and I'll get the other parts going on it. But
what
so
printer
far,
is that on? Because I like that yellow.
That's that Focus printer. I done a live stream on it. When was it? 2 nights ago? Yeah, I had Liam on as running chat for me, and I done a live build on it.
Oh yeah, I watched that. Yep.
Mike, you always like yellow.
Yeah.
I do.
You know, something kind of funny is that a long time ago, DB3D Dan was giving away 3 rolls of filament that Mike had paid for, yellows, and I won it. And then a matter of months later, I was doing the same giveaway on my 2,500 subscriber. Mike paid for the filament from Printed Solid, and then Dan won that. So it's kind of hilarious that we
it must be rigged
from each other's stream. That was just really crazy.
Trade back and forth.
That's what Jerry's printing.
Giveaway?
When I get 10,000, then it'll be something really huge. I've only got like 2,700 subs or something, so it'll be a long time. I may never hit it. I don't know.
Make it so that it's 5K. You know, that way it's attainable. You can step.
Okay, the next big giveaway is 5,000 subs. So
there we go, confirmed.
There you go.
I've got the screenshot there, Jerry, of the cup sharing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one right there. That's what I'm printing. I thought that looked better than a coffee cup. I haven't seen this one put pictures of it posted, so that's what I'm going to print right there. And I've got the red bits going right now.
Yep.
And that's just off Thingiverse?
Yeah.
Thingiverse. It's called Floating, Spilling Skull.
Yeah, type in the word floating cup.
Hang on. Here, I'll put the link up. Here we go. Make it easier.
Now, Jerry, I got a question to ask you. What is the maintenance and uptake on those laser printers?
The diodes, I don't know. I mean, there's like a 3D printer with a diode laser, and if the laser ever burns out, you have to replace it. I don't know, because I'm still building mine. I have a K40, which you have to have a exhaust on it. You have to have water and a pump and air assist, and there's a lot more involved in it. It's almost like having a fish tank. You have a lot more stuff to take care of. If you want something you can quickly set up and make some cool pictures and stuff with, real quick, diode laser. If you want to get more into it and have a 5-gallon bucket with water in it, possibly a chiller if you do enough burning, you want to exhaust it outside, you want to have air assist to blow on the print so it don't catch fire and have a K40 or bigger, If I had the money, I'd buy like a bigger. I wouldn't have a 40 watt. I'd have like an 80 watt or bigger, much larger to do more stuff. And then if I was rich, I probably still wouldn't own a Glowforge because everything's in the cloud. And you got to go straight through them for everything. But it's more push button. It depends on how much money you have and what you want to invest in.
And
I understand what you said about aquariums. I used to run a business. I specialize in saltwater reef aquariums. You can look it up. It's called Deep Aquatics, but we built our own wet dry systems and everything else, stuff like that. Specialized in auto cleaning because a lot of people we dealt with, they wanted them installed, but they don't have to deal with the cleaning and stuff like that. And we built them as room dividers, mounted them in the walls as pictures, stuff like that. But we handled all the drywall work, plumbing, all that stuff, and everything else. So
I've had a freshwater tank.
I like to go with the lasers, but I don't want to start off where I'm dealing with something that's going to be a waste of my time. I like to start off with something that I can make money with, but I don't want to try and break the bank.
Watch Jim EduTech. Watch his videos on the diode laser. You'd want a diode laser. You can make a lot of stuff. Go ahead, Mike.
For low starting point, it'll do timber, it'll do tiles. You can, and it'll will frost glass for a diode laser as well. So,
okay.
Yeah. You know, those K40s, you know, you can set them up pretty easily. And if you use antifreeze in them, you don't necessarily have to worry about, like, the water, you know, as long as you're circulating it.
And that's your diode laser, Dixon?
Okay, Dixon.
Yeah, that's a knockoff. Before they came out with the good ones like that Orchera and that, I built one a long time ago, and you can make money with the diode lasers, but I'm going to tell you something. Diode lasers are for engraving. CO2 lasers are for cutting.
For cutting, yep.
And engraving. Because I have they call them a K40 or something, but when I built mine, that was 20 years ago. I paid like $1,800. That was just for the box and the tube and the gold mirrors, and then I put Gerbil. I put an Arduino board in it to run it, because they didn't have K40s way back then, but that's the one I use for cutting and engraving. But this is just a diode laser. You can start out with this, and you're going to get by. You can get by with $300 and some and start engraving on wood, and it works great.
K40 will cost you like $400, and then the only thing you have to get for it is the air assist if you want it to work a bit better, and a better exhaust fan.
You want to get that. You want to get that. What do they call that control board? Everybody's got them.
Gerbil.
Oh, you can get that, but you can also use the K40 Whisperer, and that's what the board it comes with.
I would never buy a laser. I would never buy one of those advertised lasers like the Dremel and the other one, because you got to rely on the internet. I wouldn't do that in 1,000 years.
Hey, you got to rely on the internet.
Just for you, Kit, another clock spring model. You can sit there and print your own brain up.
Yeah, he's got a lot of neat ones. I've been looking at him just now. A lot of neat ideas.
He does. He has got some amazingly clever stuff, eh?
Beautiful vases now that you can get this silky filament. I mean, you can make some really beautiful vases.
And that's what my wife is into. Hang on, I'll grab one of his vases just to show you.
Yeah, 3D Print Farm, Jim from EduTech. There's a lot of people that have good videos on diode lasers and what they've done. My point is, for something you tinker around with, which you can make money, I would start with a diode. If you get into a K40, you got to buy a lot more stuff. And, you know, it's more involved. It's not as simple and wham, bam, set up and you're done going that quick.
Yeah, Rudy, that's what I was trying to think.
Jerry,
Rudy controller.
Just know that I'll be sending you a lot of emails.
Yeah. Liam has done a lot more with the diode than me. He's got like 3 diodes that he's reviewed. I've got a Congro diode that they just haven't announced on Facebook. They're shipping me out next week. And then I've got this board here I just ordered to get my do-it-yourself laser up and running. 1 second, I'll make the screen big.
These are done in silk. They're both clock spring models. So they're both rainbow silk. So.
The one in your left hand, I've printed that before. Look, the other hand.
This one,
your
left hand, yeah. That's a cool looking one. I'd like to print that one.
Yeah,
I like your vase.
You twist it, the light hits, and it kind of reflects it. Yeah.
Karen, if you can, send us that file.
Now these are all ones you have to buy from Clock Spring.
Oh, you got to buy them? Okay.
Yep.
Well,
But that My Manufacturing link, they're not that expensive. If you check Clock Spring on the link I sent, You'll find them there. You can just pick a vase you want. That's also a clock spring one.
Yeah, Gothic Goblet. Problem is, I had a layer ship on my Kaiwu. I explained why it happened when it was filming with Octolapse, and the head goes out of the way and stops. Just a second, Liam. Oh, that's not Liam. Liam's translator. And it got a layer shift. Then when it got up really high, it happened again. So I had to stop the print and kind of, it's not rounded off, but it's done. It's just not rounded off. My layers here are really heavy. Like always, I can't crush this. You could knock somebody out with it.
Is it worth it to have the fancy video and to have the layer shifts?
I haven't done a video.
We'd pay for that.
I haven't done a video on it yet, but I'm going to do a video on the Kaiwu, and I'll explain why it happened, but I can still show off the print. How you doing, buddy? Can't hear you. You're muted.
Muted.
There you go.
How you doing, guys?
Just as we're all pushing clock spring in his vases and everything else, we've been pushing clock spring all day.
Yeah. Yeah, he's badass, man.
Yeah, because he's another clock spring fanboy.
Yeah, let me show you this. This is I needed a trash can with a lid because my dog's always digging out my stuff.
You made the big one.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
It's awesome though, for a trash can. Yeah.
Why did you just
like
print
a
his trash
popcorn
can
can.
with the rotary lid? He had the trash can.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know why. I tried to print that big and it failed, and I never tried again. So
yeah.
Actually, the original model that he had was it was a single piece, and then he split it.
Now two piece. Yeah, you're saying
the one that was what I find is when people ask him to go back and alter it, it sometimes has issues. So like that one had some mesh issues that you have to fix. So.
But the thing is with clock spring, you ask for a modification and suggest it, he'll do it almost straight away.
We're 3 hours into the stream, but if you guys go into your settings on your screen, change it to 1080p because I've got it free for a week and I'm going to be subscribing to 1080p. So if you go to your cam mic settings, you should be able to change it right now to 1080p. I'm not sure, but you should be able to.
Yeah, I think Clock Spring, he's Australian too, isn't he?
Yes, he is Australian. He is Australian.
Just like you.
Careful. But he's over on the East Coast, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everything's
another
upside
one
down there anyway, right?
Yeah, another one over here is Hex. Hex 3D is also an Aussie.
What's up, Auto Drop? Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I saw you. I actually met you at Murph, right? Yeah.
You missed all the fun, Zolon. You missed all the fun. Zolon's just popped in.
Hey, Zolon, how you doing? You haven't missed it. We're still here. If you like to drop in, here's the link.
I gotta go, Jerry.
So I'm building
thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Cheers, Dixon.
A lot of fun talking with you guys again.
Have a great day. I'll see you next time.
Have a good night, man. Be safe.
So I'm building a Prusa box. You guys ever heard of a Prusa box before?
A Prusa box?
Yeah.
No.
Let me see if I can share the screen, but I'll show you.
All right.
It's kind of an unknown company out of France, and they sent me a kit. It's a stainless steel 3D print enclosure. Let me see if I can share here. Share.
Is that all the one that's plasma cut?
Is it the what?
No, plasma cut. That's the plasma cut frame?
I don't know if it's plasma cut or not, but I don't know. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's it's a full stainless steel box
with perspex panels. Yeah.
It actually has very little printing, but what's cool about it is it takes the power supply and has a like a cooling chamber for the power supply, and it has active cooling. It has active cooling.
Heat. Yeah.
So
now, is that for the Prusa or the Prusa Mini?
Prusa.
It's for the Prusa. Actually, they're adapting it to the Ender 3 and a few other printers, but
it looks like a popcorn popper box at the movie theater.
It does.
What's cool about it is you can actually set the temperature at like 62 degrees or whatever, and it has a HEPA filter, but it will also actively maintain the temperature inside the enclosure.
Well, that's a lot better than a hairdryer in a cardboard box.
Yeah, it's a lot better than a lac table, which is what most people have.
Zolan popped in, but I'm not seeing video.
Now, it's a stainless steel enclosure. Can you buy it that way, or do you have to have somebody work the stainless steel for you?
No, you buy it that way.
Well, you buy it that way. You buy it that way, and then you can kind of print your parts. And then there's a bunch of modifications, and pretty much everything comes from Amazon. So if you want to like put in another HEPA filter or whatever, but the cool thing is maintaining the temperature inside the box. So like I've been printing a lot of polycarbonate, so the bed's at like 115 degrees. So inside the enclosure, it gets pretty damn hot, and you don't want it so hot that it's melting, softening your PET-G and stuff. So
or screws the electronics up.
Yeah, so like in my enclosure now, I'm printing PET-G, and what I started figuring, my belt started snapping, and I was like, why is my belt snapping? Come to find out, all the Prusa belts or all their parts are printed out of PET-G. So like basically it started softening and letting go of the belts, and so the belt would snap like a rubber band in the middle of the print.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, all the Stratasys patents, or at least one of them, for the heated build enclosures finally came up. So you're going to see a whole bunch of the heated enclosures coming onto the market soon.
Yeah. So this isn't actively heated. They call it actively cooled, because it basically uses a thermometer and or not a thermometer, but a thermistor. And you measure the temperature inside the box, and then it basically vents the box as needed to bring the temperature until the temperature comes down, and then it'll pull fresh air in, and then it will, once it hits the temp, it'll shut it. So it's got like a little valve system.
Now, like with most enclosures, you have to make sure that the electronics, the main board, and stuff like that are not inside of the enclosure.
So what's cool about this box is, and yes, you shouldn't have the PSU inside the box. This box, this Prusa box, it takes the PSU underneath, and it has its own cooling box that's separate. So it actually keeps cold, fresh air on the PSU. And then for the main board, because it's on the printer, it has a thing when you put the printer in there, it goes up underneath the control box, and it basically pushes fresh air into the control box. So it has cooling for the board, it has cooling for the PSU. I think that's about it. But yeah, I've been printing this.
Now, are those with standard cooling fans, or do you have to add extra cooling fans?
So it uses one fan and then ducts it through the PSU and ducts it through the board, the control box. But I've been printing this stuff. I don't know if you guys can see, but the quality on this stuff is like, this is polycarbonate. Let me see if I can. This is like, this stuff is unreal. I think I showed it to you last week or something, a couple weeks ago. But
it looks like it's injected.
Yeah, it does. And to print this, like, you have to have you have to have an enclosure that's sealed, and you have to have a 115 degree bed and almost a 300 degree hot end. So
wow,
like I print this at 295. Yeah.
Yeah, PC's incredibly durable.
We got another guy that popped in here. Let's talk to him for a minute. Hey, Zolan,
you're muted, Zolan. Here we go.
Hey.
I know I'm muted.
Hey,
how's everything?
I don't know. I hurt. Had to change the alternator out in the car today.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's like 96 degrees outside. And
wow. Yeah, dude, it's so hot outside.
It's hot.
A little bit cooked.
What kind of car is Zolan?
2013 Charger SXT Plus, which means it's the V6, has 288,000 miles on it.
Wow.
And the alternator, the bearing for the pulley decided to go out.
Yeah.
So
they used to remember when alternators were easy to change. You could change them in a couple hours. Now you have to take the motor out to get them out.
It only took me 3 hours, but I had to snake it through this area to get it out and back in, and my hands were too big for that. But the real issue is, do you remember when alternators were $100 to $150 and not $500?
No, wow, that's that much. Wow.
Yeah, the alternator was 500 when said
Did
and
you
done.
check Amazon before you went local?
The problem is I can't trust that what I'm going to get from Amazon is actually what I need, and my wife needs the car tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, alternators. I mean, when I was a kid, you drove Hondas and shit, and the alternator was $40, $50. You know, with a four.
Yep. And you could go to the junkyard and get one that worked.
Just pull one out and drop it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the alternators. You think of all
They
the
used to be on the front of the car up high. Now they're at the back under the motor, and you can't get to the.
That's true.
This one's still on. This one's still on the front, but it's down low.
Yeah.
Well, those are
like
what 100,000
80
mile
pounds.
apart. 100,000 mile apart, right now.
Well, yeah, no, I sound like I'm bitching about it. The problem is I physically should not be doing something like that. But the car itself, 280,000 miles was the first time I had to take it in for a major repair, and that was when the AC condenser, compressor, and something else all had a crack in it, and that was covered underneath the lifetime warranty.
280,000.
Yes. All I've ever done is oil changes. I've never done anything else.
Well, can't complain about that.
If it's a diesel, it can handle that, but if it runs on gas, 280,000, it's about time for a rebuild.
Gas. And the thing still has plenty of power, according to all the metrics that I pull off of the computer.
Wow.
The
spark plugs, those spark wires.
Nope, didn't have to do any of it. The alternator's the first thing I've had to do that was not expected.
You're in Oklahoma, right, Zolan?
Yep.
Yeah, it's humid as hell, huh?
Actually, no. Humidity today is only like 35%.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's still hot, though.
Right. The problem is I grew up in Alaska.
Yeah. Dude, trust me. It was
above zero was a t-shirt weather. Yeah.
It was 114 degrees here on Friday yesterday.
I believe it.
And I'm from Seattle, which is basically like being from Alaska. And
I lived 25 years in Seattle.
I never ever get. What I noticed is I stopped bitching about it so much, but I never get used to the heat. And like my wife, who's Mexican, she goes out and she's gardening in this stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, I cannot believe you're out here digging in the dirt. Like, I stay away from it at all costs. So
right now, I walk outside and I have to come back in within 5 minutes because otherwise I'm not doing good.
Yeah.
Well,
honestly, I started vaping because I don't want to go outside anymore. So.
Who's the guy who invented air conditioning? Was that the Carrier guy? Because they should really make him into a saint.
Oh, dude, could you imagine? Like, yeah, and you know what's funny is I thought like down here in like the Southwest, like people didn't live here until there was air conditioning, but that's not true. People have lived in this area for 100 years, 100 and some years, but like people used to live here, and some of the old houses here, they all have swamp coolers on top, and there's still a ton of people in South Phoenix that use swamp coolers. And they don't work. I mean, they just don't work very good, I guess it takes the edge off, but.
Well, and the thing is, if you're acclimatized to it, it's what you grew up in, it's what you've dealt with all your life, and you didn't have real AC the whole time.
Yeah,
it's not that big of a deal.
But ACs date back 2,000 years.
Well, there's a guy that works for me that has grown up here, and he goes every single day after work, like yesterday, 114 degrees. He goes out and he runs 3 miles every single day, like clockwork. And he swears by it. He says it's, he's going to live till he's 100.
You put me in negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm stripping my jacket off.
I like cold.
Because that's what I grew up in. That's what I'm used to.
I'm the same way, dude. I love cold, man.
In Seattle,
we're not all as serious as you are, Zolan.
Seattle hits 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's miserable. It's not fun at all because it's a wet cold.
Yeah,
you drive up to Snoqualmie or you drive up to Stevens Pass. It's perfect.
Yeah, I love my wife has never been to a place that has trees, and she's never been to a place that has like the Northwest. And so we were planning a trip there, and she wants to go in October. And I told her, I said it's going to be like below zero Celsius. And she, oh no, it won't. I said, oh my God, you have no idea. Wait till it's 12 degrees and blowing.
Oh, dude. Yeah, but you need to take her to Leavenworth in October.
Yeah, that's true. That actually, you know what? That's a good idea. That's where my brother lives. So yeah, that's a good idea.
And by the way, Oktoberfest, Leavenworth, when I took my wife there, it was 70 degrees.
Yeah, Leavenworth is awesome. But that's where my family's from. My family's from Wenatchee, actually. So.
No, I lived in the Washington area for 25 years. That's where my grandparents were from. I grew up in Alaska, though, so I miss it.
I used to go to Alaska twice a year until COVID happened.
What I miss about Washington is you didn't need anything to go on the trails.
Yeah.
Here in Oklahoma, there are no trails.
Actually, when we drove to Murph, when I took my wife through Oklahoma, the whole way, oh my God, it's so beautiful. So I always pictured Oklahoma looking like Arizona, like a big desert.
Nope.
You know?
I
didn't realize how green it was.
But they call it Greenland now because of all the man-made lakes and everything. They had to put a ton of irrigation in.
It was super pleasant to look at. I guess I just always thought it was like a desert, like it would look like it did here, you know. But
no. But earlier today, I had to go put a brush fire out on my way home because somebody flicked their cigarette butt out the window. And that's all it takes.
That's stupid.
Yeah, you know what? In Arizona, you see that all the time. People flicking cigarettes out the window. It's crazy.
Jerry, got a question for you.
Sure.
How did those Doom statues or Dr. Doom statues turn out for you?
I got to do a little more touch-up painting and put them up on Etsy. I should have had them up a week ago, but I haven't finished working on them. I need to spend about an hour on each one and do some minor work on them.
Now, are those all resin printed or are they FDM?
They're all 100% resin printed and hollowed.
Now, can you get that print in FDM?
Yeah, you could.
Now, who's that from, Xanax?
No, these are from, let me think about that for a minute. Who did I get them from? They came off of the site called 3D Model Crowdfund, and I forget right offhand, I forget the man's name. That was the one I had him commission. Then he sells the files.
3D Model Crowdfund, okay.
3D Model Crowdfund. Anyway, it's not done yet. I got more work to do on it, but I got two of them that are identical. The base was one piece that was hollowed. The throne was one piece, and then Dr. Doom, which was multiple pieces, was all printed and glued together, put on the throne. The bottom is not painted and has drain holes in it.
Didn't you have a problem with one where the guy didn't fit in the seat or something like that? Or
yeah, I had a gap on one of them, and I had to use epoxy sculpt behind his body up in there to fill the gap and then paint it. I had to do the same on these other two real slightly, so something wasn't quite right when it was designed. But the back, and this all has rub and buff on it.
Okay.
It was painted I painted this all hand painted. I used a really super dark green paint. Once that dried, then I took out some rub and buff, used a dry paintbrush, dabbed in it, wiped off the excess, and carefully wiped all the highlights to rub and buff it.
Oh, okay.
Came out really nice.
So you used the paintbrush, not the
airbrush. This was all done by paintbrush. I didn't airbrush anything on here.
Nice.
So.
Very nice. Very nice.
Wow, that's so much effort.
But that's on the site. What did you say? It's 3D.
What's that?
What did you say the name of the site was?
3D Model Crowdfund.
You should toss a link up for it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull it up. And they also have a Discord server where they do more stuff on Discord than here, but here is their group right here on Facebook. I just can't, it's slipping my mind, but it's not the man that had this commission. I can't think of his name. But if you go on this group and join this group or their Discord channel, all these different people that have work commission and they resell the files because they were made specifically for them for reselling, get some great deals. You can just go to that group, search for Dr. Doom. It'll pull up pictures and it'll show the person that had a commission that had it made. It'll show his name.
So you ever figure out that shipping, Mike?
You know what? No, I haven't. I've been It's been crazy. I haven't gotten my car fixed because I haven't had to travel. So anytime I'm doing anything, it's either just like hitching a ride or something like that. So I still have all that stuff. It's sitting on a table ready to ship for you. I just have to go and do it.
All right, it's all good.
Yeah, no, here, I'll tell you what, pester me, because
I'm horrible about pestering people, and I'm horrible about shipping things too. It took me 3 months to ship an Alexa to Devin.
I'm serious though. If you pester me, I'll do it. I'm a scatterbrain.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, newbie, if you go over
projects going on.
Newbie, if you go over to my if you go to my group over on Facebook, I'm sure he's still listening. Just do a search for Dr. Doom. You'll see my posts, and it's got the link to the designer, and it says who made it, and all that on there too. Oh, and this just got done. I was going to take a picture of it real quick.
Have you guys tried the new Prusa Alpha 2.4? The Prusa slicer?
I haven't.
I have done no printing in probably 3 months now because I can't get to my printers.
Can't get to your
printer. What you do, bury them or something? Or
the room got buried in stuff because we were moving a bunch of things around. I'm almost to the point of being able to get that resolved.
That new Prusa slicer is pretty nice.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the heck's going on my tablet tonight. It's acting friggin' stupid.
There you are. I was wondering what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. I can't, actually, I tried to try to send Jerry some money through PayPal. Wouldn't let me do that. And I'm looking over here to the left, and it says private chat, or it says comments. I bring up comments, and I saw what Jerry posted that for the gentleman's for the website. Wouldn't let me get to that. I don't know what's going on with my tablet tonight. I really don't, because I'm not on a computer in the living room, so I'll just have to go back and get back to it on the computer in the living room. So I can do it on the computer here in the bedroom. So.
Where's Liam at today?
He's
He was
gone.
here for a couple hours. Then he had to go.
He's got a astronomy event tonight, so he's off with his astronomy group.
yeah, Lyra, that thing's pretty far away, right?
So nobody could understand him? Is that what happened? And he left?
Yeah, we kicked him out.
Yeah.
Well, I see it says you're called Liam's translator. Why does it say you're Liam's translator?
Because last time we were on here, I was pretending like I was translating for him.
Oh, okay. Well,
he thought it was funny.
Actually, he might be at the doctor's office.
Doctor's office.
That's a good one, Jared.
This puppet, his alter ego.
Oh.
That's why I showed the other puppet. Is I found that on Facebook. I guess I posted that a couple of years ago before I knew Liam. Now here's a pretty cool picture. They're doing a remake of this movie, so here's a cool picture. And I'm just a man. Oh yeah, if you guys don't like and subscribe, when you go to bed at night, what I'm going to show you in a minute is either going to be in your closet or under your bed.
Oh, what movie is that?
Salem's Lot. They're remaking it again.
Yep.
Are
Never heard of it.
Old Stephen King book.
They're making another Matrix.
Another what?
Yeah. Matrix.
Yeah.
Yep, Matrix 4. I still need to get a copy of Dune and see how they did on that.
Which one? The new one?
The new one?
The new one. Yep.
Hasn't dropped yet. It hasn't been released yet. Not till
it's limited release in some of the theaters.
Oh,
okay.
So you should be able to put on your iPad and find it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hit HBO Max for a while.
I should be able to find it though. I got like 3 or 4 movie things I get moved for free. Plus I use
October 22nd.
Plus I use Tubi, Peacock. There's 2 other ones that I use besides Terrarium, besides Cody, and a couple ones. I don't even have cable. The only time I turn my TV on normal and use my antenna is to watch the news in the morning. And I'm so sick and tired of watching the news in the morning.
We can't even get cable here.
Huh?
There is no cable here.
Yeah. Get satellite.
No, I ain't paying that kind of money. I get, thanks to the house when we bought it has one of those old school directional Yagi antennas for TV, you know, the big one that looks like a messed up metal arrow.
Yeah.
And using that, I can pick up all the HD channels out of Tulsa and OKC at the same time.
Okay, you don't worry about it then. So,
and other than that, Usenet and a Plex Media server.
I spent $40 on an HD antenna, and I get all the channels. You know, ABC, NBC, Fox. I get all those. And
do you know what the difference is between an analog antenna and an HD antenna is?
Nothing.
But $100.
You got it.
Yeah,
function-wise,
for me, I just watch
it's the tuner.
That's it.
The tuner is
ATS. By the way, ATSC 3 should be dropping within the next year or 2. They're already selling TVs that support it, and when that happens, it's going to become a mess.
Hey guys, I gotta drop off. I might come back on, but I gotta jump real quick.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
So what were you showing that filament off for there, Jerry?
He's changing to white to print the skull
I'm changing
cup. Yeah.
this focus printer out on the live stream on the other day. I'm changing to white to print the skull.
Ah.
It's, you know, like the coffee cup that looks like you're pouring coffee and the cup's up in midair?
Yeah, I've been meaning to print one of those.
Yeah, this will be a skull that's pouring blood.
Oh, okay.
It looks like a skull with the top of the head missing. So, let's see, back.
You know, I always like those things where they like make the faucet, which is just floating in the air, and they use the very small, like, transparent tube to
bring the water up to the top of the tap. Yeah, that look good. That look good. It's a nice color screen too. Someone actually using the color touch screen for color, which is always nice.
I hate touch screens on printers.
Well, do you walk over to your printer and plug the SD card in? Are you one of them?
I use Octoprint on almost everything, but sometimes I do that because I like to monitor things through Octoprint, what's going on to control things.
I will use the SD card if the print keeps failing, no matter how I slice it, just to make sure it isn't Octoprint doing something stupid.
I currently have one printer right now on Octoprint. This hasn't happened in 5 years. It said every time Octoprint's running, it says that it is losing connection. I've got a power problem, so I need to swap out one of those adapters, throw it away, and put a different one on this one Pi.
Yeah, Pis are twitchy when it gets about 3.5 volts. Yeah.
I'm currently running a Pi that is doing APRS satellite.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can make those little bastards do, I tell you.
I have 7 Pi 4s and 8 Pi 3s.
I got 3 Bs. I've never bought anything better than that yet.
Well, Octoprint 3Bs work fine.
Here we go. Just now seeing it.
Yeah, that's that. The one on the right is one I bought. The one on the left I finished yesterday.
I had one of those I bought from Comic Con. You put batteries in it, open up the door, and stuff makes noise.
No. The one on the right is just a cheap resin one. On the left, though, there will be batteries, there will be lights, and there will be noise when I finish.
Okay, yeah, I have one like that somewhere, but the batteries are dead.
So You use that what for storage? Because it's like you could put a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, it's bigger on the inside. You could put a whole car
Yeah,
inside.
you could put the whole planet inside it. No, but that's with no painting. That's just the filament. A good match from the filament.
On these little ones, you open them up, you can stick your whole arm in there, and you don't even know where it went.
No,
Have they
no.
ever explored in the TV show, like if you put a TARDIS inside a TARDIS?
They do bring it up in the original series, and I believe it was you don't want to do that.
I get upset.
Hey guys,
Because you got to remember, the TARDIS is sentient.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
Newbie. Thank you
All
very
right,
much
what is
for
it?
stopping by.
It's a
Yeah,
sentient bag of holding.
Take some medication, get ready for bed. So, and
Right there,
Jared,
Newbie.
I'm sorry I've missed you the other time, stuff like that. But I'll be trying to make sure I'll make the rest of your streams though.
All
Hope
right.
you guys
Well, yeah,
have
I
a good
appreciate
night.
it. You're always welcome. Thank you very much, and I hope you get better, my friend.
I'm trying. You guys have a good night and be safe.
Take care.
Peace out.
Is that the USB tuner, Zolan? Or the
No,
PCIe?
mine's PCIe.
Yeah. I've got a
I
quad
have a USB one as well, but the PCIe one is 2x, so I can record
Yeah.
2 things at once.
Yeah, I've got a quad in mine at the moment, a quad tuner. They're so reliable. They're good.
I haven't bought the quad one yet because I'm waiting for ATSC3. I'm not going to
Right.
drop the money on it. But where you are, you're already on one of the other standards that are even better.
Yep.
I remember
The
correctly.
HD free to air is actually pretty good over here.
Yeah. No, US, of course, has to do everything their own way, which is slow and stupid.
Yep. And only because of the US. Yeah. Yeah, that's why NTSC and PAL was always a pain in the ass.
Yep.
This gave us something that's less efficient and poorer quality just because we can. Yep.
But the frame rate on NTSC made more sense. How they implemented it didn't, but the frame rate made better.
Yeah. But the How Page stuff is good value for money, and it's reliable, and it's really robust.
Yeah,
And-
I have a USB one that I use for doing amateur radio, fast scan TV, and then I have my PCIe one that I use for doing everything else.
And even better, any software tends to work with them. Unlike some of the other brands, you can pretty much run them through anything. You don't need to go
Flex
through the
has an
Microsoft.
issue with it every now and then.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, but I think that may be just because I keep bouncing between Windows and Linux.
Right. See, the Linux drivers are pretty robust for them as well, so they're pretty good. They test them pretty much on anything, so that's one good thing about them. One of the few that actually are well tested.
No, Jerry's not having a stroke.
Ow, 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 ow.
Jerry's not going to have a stroke until you do, Thomas.
I'm going to live to be 100 years old if you're talking about me.
Yeah, I'm talking about you, not to you.
Llama's asking if you're having a stroke.
Hey, what's going on, Llama?
Where
Quick
is the
tug there.
lava?
You had a quick tug, Thomas, not a stroke.
Here, let me find that link here, and I'll share it in case Tom wants to pop in and show us what he's working on.
Yeah, as long as it's showing and he doesn't have his mic on for that stupid CNC.
We're in 1080p, Tom, so you can set
I'm
it
sorry.
for 1080.
Let me
Set
rephrase
it
it.
for 1080p. Anybody that comes in, change it to 1080p.
Phrasing's everything.
The CNC is not stupid. What he is doing with the CNC is actually really cool. The noise is just obnoxious.
And I've got mine built in the garage at MPCNC from last year. I have not got it done, but I mean, it's built. I just got to do something with it. I'd probably do work on it more if I brought it in the house, but you know, it's going to be too damn loud if I run it and sawdust and everything else. So,
Yeah,
How
I need
did-
to build one.
How did Pooch like your Ripbox panels, Thomas? Do you like them? You got them in the end?
okay.
You shipped them off to him or not? Thomas,
Tom-
you're making those
well-
Ripbox panels for Pooch.
No, I was leaning over petting my dog. That's why he probably thought I was having a stroke. Dogs need attention.
The llama said he'd come in if there was less people. So, hey, I think I'm going to duck out for now.
No, I think he's got too many
I think
people at his house.
At his place.
He has people at his place right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, his house.
Well, shucks, I was trying to use that as the nice excuse to be all like, hey, I got to go.
Well, you're welcome.
You're obliged to stay, Mike. None of us ever do.
You're welcome to come and go whenever you want.
Well, peace
Okay.
out for now.
Well, thank you very much for dropping in, and we'll check out that video, and that's going to possibly have maybe you and Joel in it, you said? Or something?
Yeah, I think it should be dropping tomorrow, I think.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Okay,
I'll
check
look
that out.
forward to seeing it. So thank you, sir. You have a great day.
Peace out.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
Mike.
Take care, Mike.
Very cool. Now there were 3.
I show up and everybody leaves.
Yep, strange that, Zola. What
If
you
anybody
do?
wants to drop in, here's the link. I'll post again. And you want to come and hang out. I would like to stream for another half hour, make it 4 hours, but I mean, I don't have to. I can cut it at any time. So if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't.
That's fine. Yep, it's all good.
Hey, Maker Viking, how you doing, Thomas?
Hey, Maker.
Hello. Maybe Thomas can come in.
You might.
Yeah,
You said yesterday
Viking
you
was on
might.
Viking was on a stream a few days ago. I wanted to join, but I just was not up to it. Haven't talked to him in a while.
Well, you don't go without your emoji very often, do you? Where it's just you?
No, I don't have the time. My brain has just been fried with everything that's going on right now. But soon I will. I've almost done getting one of the rooms cleaned out. Once it's cleaned out, I can move all my stuff around and set my cameras back up.
Okay. Yeah, my wife always said, "What does he look like?" And then one time she seen you on a stream, like, "There's Zolan right there."
Yeah, I look like some stupid little geek. Well, not little, but whatever.
Yeah, I used to be 5'8", now I'm like 5'7.5". I think you're what, 6'3", 6'4"?
I used to be 6'9", but I'm now 6'6" because of my back issues.
Okay. Wow.
What's 1,000 squirrel challenge, Kit?
Hey, Dennis.
1,000 squirrel challenge.
He's a quarter of the way through his 1,000 squirrel challenge. Squirrels?
Okay.
Is that
Well,
catching
I'm
them,
pretty
eating them, or shooting them?
Or causing them, because he just caused us to squirrel. Maybe that's the whole point.
It could be. Gotcha. Next.
And I'm not finding anything for that hashtag.
Oh, he's printing 1,000 squirrels. Samples filament coils to print 1,000 squirrels.
With StreamYard, I'm at 1080p right now. It was on a trial, but then a couple people donated to me today. One person $125, another person $25. So I'll go ahead and upgrade to the Pro plan with StreamYard. And then I was running 60 frames a second in OBS in the background, and everybody said I was blurry, so I kicked that down. It was recommended I kick it down to 30 frames, which I did, and I guess now I'm clear and not blurry. So hopefully that's
If we pay you more, will you go back to your avatar?
So my output currently is scaled to 720. So give me a second here. Why
on OBS I had 60 frames a second, and I was told by Jason kick it down to 30 because I guess I held up a paper to the screen and it was blurry and didn't look right. And I'm running a Logitech Brio camera.
Okay, so my video is going to go away for a second here, just a moment.
No problem.
Okay.
And then if he
will it let me change it?
If he set it in StreamYard at 1080p, you instead of 720, because when you drop in, it automatically defaults to 720. But I'm running 1080p, so you should be able to also click on 1080p.
I'm already set that way in StreamYard.
Yeah, blurry Jerry might be better. Yeah.
Oh, and that setting it to 1080 caused OBS to crash.
Huh. Well, I still hear you, but
I think I think mine's on 1080p now. My camera supports it, so let's just see if it. Let's just have a look. Yeah, it's also saying at 1080p now.
Thanks, Stephen.
So if he's still blurry, go see an optometrist.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys know, it costs a lot of money to pay for internet and do all this stuff. And then when I have bad quality, I rewatch one of my videos or my streams and I look washed out or fuzzy. It really ticks me off because I don't want it to be that way. I want it to look nice. And maybe I finally solved it. I'll have to wait and see.
Huh. Mine will not go to it for some reason.
You're definitely looking a lot sharper on the YouTube at the moment, Jerry. Definitely looks much better on the YouTube side afterwards. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So that's actually the issue. Might be the fact that OBS Stream your. Okay, now let's see if I can do
Here's
it.
Thomas.
Take care, Tom.
I'll have to do the 3S. What's the 3S?
Maybe you don't really want to know. It is Thomas.
Okay, so the reason why it wasn't letting me do it is because I had StreamYard set to capture it immediately.
So it couldn't filter across. Okay.
Right. Now I'm at 1080p.
Okay. Since it's not
Doesn't-
really you, I don't know if the quality changed or not. It should have, but I don't know.
It looks like it did a little bit.
It did. It did.
Okay.
It didn't prove it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because the 3D print of the glow in the dark ghost, there's a lot clearer
Quite
now.
sharp.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
All right.
I don't know if I've got to stop and restart, but I've set mine to 1080p now as well, so mine's on 1080p.
Okay, good, good. Yeah. Awesome.
Hey, Cyberdeck.
Hey, Cyberdeck, what's going on?
Up is a 2-letter word that is a description of spatial theory that is only relevant upon a person's point of view at a moment in time.
If anybody drops in, set your StreamYard to 1080p, because that's what I'm currently streaming at. And Cyberdeck, if you want to come and hang out or chit chat, you're very welcome to. Or just come in and plug your channel, you're welcome to do so.
I'll just cycle my camera and just see if it does resets it.
Yeah, we've been streaming now for 3 hours, 36 minutes, and I'll go 4 hours.
But it's the only way to get Jerry to test it all. So if it's working at 1080p for everybody, it makes life a lot easier. And the YouTube stream is nice and crisp. Ah, spiders. That's not a spider.
It's the same picture I showed last week. I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah,
if it looks
we
cleaner.
were showing that after the hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Remember I was talking about a desert spider, the wolf spiders or whatever they were? Well, the day after that live stream, I seen one on one of my computers. Like, where in the hell did this come from? So I went to kill it. It jumped into my window. So I went to open up the blinds while right behind my Kaibu printer that was printing, and the blinds fell out of the window. So I put them in the trash, and I went to buy some new ones. They want way too much money, and I couldn't find ones exactly like it. So I took them out of the garbage, and I realized that all the plastic clips broke on the top, not actually the strings that hold each blind together. So I tied a knot, took a piece of tie wire, ran it through that metal frame that goes up there, through that.
Hung them off that?
Yeah, I hung them up. So now that it's back up, the window won't function, but it's up in a closed position behind me. You can see it there, you know.
Oh, you can you can 3D print some new clips now. You're okay.
Well, all the guts, you know, it's like plastic. Every time something breaks in Nevada, it's because it was plastic.
Yeah, the heat and the dries just kills it. Yeah, it breaks down the plasticizers. Yeah.
It's about the same here, too.
Yeah, I mean, every time it's anything, it's why it's plastic. If anything breaks, no matter what it is, people go, well, what is it? It's plastic. But yeah, that window right there behind that CR10 Max.
Yep.
And I always keep it in a closed position, so I don't need to use it. So I'll just leave it in a closed position. I'll hang it back up. Because in one of my time lapses, you see where all of a sudden a flag appears because I was trying to block the window with anything, so at night you can't see in. So I temporarily took one of my flags and pinned it up to block it.
Oh, I've been using OBS since, version 1. Long time. I get lazy. And my hard drive crashed about a month ago, and I'm still recovering from that.
Skewed View, what's going on?
A Skewed View? So he must be a Kevin Smith fan.
Yeah, he hasn't found it, I suspect, Cyberdeck.
I think find the spider would be Shom. I think his name is Shom.
Askew Productions is Kevin Smith's production firm.
Yeah, he used to stream all the time with his boys. I don't know if he still does it. I haven't seen him on YouTube in a long time. And he always goes to Murph and Earth and stuff like that for different things that he prints and designs.
Then I probably saw him because I was at Murph. Yes, view is skewed. I had it backwards. Yay, dyslexia. I need to start flying my drones again. The weather's almost to the point I can do it.
It's just too windy, too stormy for you at the moment.
Too hot.
I need to go grab another battery. 1 second.
Yep, Clerks 3, he just finished filming, I believe. So now they're in the edit portion. Okay, we understand. Oh, wait, yeah, I haven't been flying much because when it's, as hot as it is out there, the goggles are black. The hat thing I have to wear so I don't get sweat on the goggles are black. And it's just bad. And my little indoor drones are not very well for my house. If I had a bigger house, maybe a cleaner house. Jerry couldn't remember what source he needed.
No, he forgot it. He forgot what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I just reprogrammed. They're not in order. I got 5 across the bottom of the stream deck. So I just keep pushing until I see the right one.
So how is that stream deck?
You can do pretty much anything and everything if you program it. Oh, here's a picture I need to show. You've seen it?
This is if you're in WA, if you live in Perth, you're called a sand groper. Because Perth is basically one big sand pit sitting on granite and limestone. And because it's that, the sand is full of these things. They're about 3 to 4 inches long. And you dig in your garden, these things pop up. And they scare the living shit out of you. But they're called sand gropers.
How big are they?
3 to 4 inches long.
Oh, okay.
Quite big. But they leave big mounds and big holes in your and big troughs in your lawn to make a mess of your lawn.
Can you eat them?
No. They're related to mole crickets, but they're a lot bigger and a lot ugly looking.
The heck is a mole cricket?
Something else to Google. But they're once again, Australia has some wild and weird creatures over here.
Wow.
All right. Scare the crap out of you. Bugs? That's not a bug.
Well, here's some puppy pics. I haven't showed these this week. Yep. Here's my 2 girls that I took, I don't know, a year ago probably. I'm holding my cell phone, obviously, and I have a cookie in my hand or a treat or something. I don't remember. That's why they're staring at the camera. It's like, okay, give it to me now.
Puppies?
Then here's Sandy with my wife.
What's that, a COVID model?
Yeah, a little COVID print, yeah. Then here's somebody took a screenshot of me on a video a while back. I think it was Chris Travis that did this.
Yeah, how to remove stringing properly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to a mole cricket, but it's not quite. It's not the same family, but it's similar.
Really, yeah. Ah, that's why I'm not finding it. I can't. I go searching for Jerry on YouTube, and of course that doesn't work. It's just 3D HP.
Yep.
There we are. Okay, so we'll hit live here, and then we'll hit pause because I don't need it coming over there. And I'm gonna go find the StreamYard girl.
yeah. The animation for the voice isn't quite synced up. Yeah.
No, my timings are off. Now that I've changed the resolution, they're even more off.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely not Fire Marshal Bill. That's for sure.
Puppy cam. Here we go.
There we go. Is that them now, Zolan? Because they look
yes, it is.
Small. Okay.
This is live.
Cool.
Jump into the box, don't you, and just cuddle up to the whole lot of them.
No, thank you.
And if anybody's wondering, he marks some different colors to know which one they are. So if they're sick or something's wrong, they don't get confused.
Well, also because we watch them to figure out who's got the best movement, who has the best bite, all the things a show dog needs or a working dog.
So yes, so I can see the pink stripe. What about the other colors? I can't. Oh, there's blue. One is blue. Yeah.
There's blue. That one's got a
Green?
orange spot
Green?
on its butt.
Okay.
Green is right here. You can barely see on the camera.
Yeah.
That one likes to talk at me.
Yeah, looks like it.
What, do you got your cell phone out?
Yeah, it's my cell phone.
Okay.
Anyways.
Can't go wrong, Puppy Cam.
Yeah, I'm printing. Where they got the show 'em where they got the cup? It looks like it's pouring coffee or something. Well, I'm Thingiverse. I found a skull. That top is missing and it's pouring blood. So that's on this little focus printer. I done a live stream on it 2 nights ago, and that's what I'm printing that on. The blood part of it. Here, hold on. Let me move this all on back. Where's that? Right before the stream, I started it, basically. Here's the splash part of it right here. And then the top part will go in the skull once I get it done. And here's a ghost I've showed off before. I printed out in some rainbow film, and I call the ghost that flew through the rainbow. My layers on that are 644. It's printed very thick and heavy, hollow. You can put a light in the bottom. The eyes will kind of glow. And if you look at the face, kind of reminds you of Mr. Bill from back in the day. Oh, no, Mr. Bill, Anyway. And then I've done a couple little phone stands here, one in rainbow. I recently did from Clock Spring. I had some problems here on the honeycomb area or what didn't adhere to the bed properly. And then I just printed another one for my wife in pink that done the same exact thing. And then I had a piece on the front of hers that actually broke off. But it's really cool when you unscrew these, they print in place. You just simply fold them up. There's nothing that connected or unstamped. Okay, here's a picture of it right here. Where'd it go? I'm doing it again.
Again, yeah.
There we go.
That's what he's printing.
So that's what I'm printing right now. And then on my CR10, I'm printing a duct for a diode laser so I can exhaust the fumes from the diode outside. I'm printing like a big hood, basically, that I'll hook up that'll exhaust out. Always tinkering with something. Got a 10 or 20 projects always going on at once. I kind of tinker with this. And then earlier today, I printed this out. Got about Prusa's website. It's a little case to put USB drives, things like that in it. Stand them up in it. Because the one I currently have, which is overflowing, is right here. And it's real small. So I printed the bigger one out.
Is that the fan making the noise in the background? I'm hearing like a faint whine. Is that off the printer?
That's one of the CR10s doing it. It does that. It whines. It's got a big tree tech board in it, and I don't know what's whining, but one of the accesses is kind of makes a squealing sound.
Okay, yeah, you can hear it in the back end as it passes. Yeah.
And this little focus, people complain that the fan is so loud, and like Liam says, it's probably just because it's moving so much air, but it's quiet to me. I mean,
it's not making much noise. It's right beside you. It's not right beside you.
I mean, I can put the mic closer. Well, I can't get the mic over there closer to it, but it's not noisy at all.
No, I have a window AC unit and 2 large fans next to me, and I don't hear it.
Yeah.
I can hear the squeal. I can hear the squeal in the background, but not hearing nothing at all from that folding printer at all. No.
Yeah.
You sound like a dentist drill in the background.
I heard that, but I had to purposely listen for it.
Yeah, this is the CR10 way back behind me. I call it blue. That was my second original CR10 I bought.
So there's definitely no real noise coming off that folding one at all. No, it's good.
Yeah,
no, your douche whistle's louder.
Yeah.
Well, this. Well, we got 10 minutes left. Anybody have any questions, or you want to pop in for 10 more minutes? We'll be here for 10 more minutes. That'll be 4 hours. Last night when I done the test stream on OBS, I was only going to come on for about 15, 20 minutes, and I was on for over 3 hours.
You're on for quite a long time, yeah.
Because there's my audio is not working in the beginning, but if you jump ahead like 12 or 13 minutes, then I have audio. I was just testing out OBS, going solo, and trying it out. And I'm glad that I got it down to 30 frames a second. That'll solve my blur problem, I hope. So
definitely, it definitely will. Yeah. But if you haven't got a chance to test it, you don't know until someone comes back and responds what it's like. Yeah, it's real time stream.
What he's showing here.
Where is he going? Oh, that's his Pi, isn't it? No,
coordinates.
That's my Pi. That's my Pi. No, that is my Pi right now.
Yeah.
Listening to a people broadcasting their location via GPS data packets.
Oh.
And the line here that you can barely see is a satellite.
So it's doing the satellite tracking as well for the transmitter and receiver. Nice.
Actually, the satellite is broadcasting APRS packets themselves.
That's our Pi 4, though, I take it.
Yeah, that's a Pi 4. It'll run on a Pi 3, not a problem. I have a Pi 4 with I have the Argon 1 M.2 case, so it has a 500 gigabyte drive in it.
Yeah, they're nice. Those Argon cases are nice. I've got one sitting in the drawer. I've got about 3 or 4 cases. I just don't even bother if they're sitting in the drawer. They are got cooling.
I think it's called
one issue.
A DJI Mini Maverick. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. That's like 400 and something bucks. Well, I've been watching this truck driver for the last month, and when he's backing in different places, going to different jobs, he'll take his drone up and we'll just sit there and watch him. It just sits in the sky, doesn't move for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever, and he backs into his spot, looks around everything, and then he goes and lands it down in front of the truck.
He's using a Mavic Mini. My drones, you cannot do that with my drones.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty amazing, though. Like, he's sitting in a turn lane waiting to go into some building for an hour. So he'll take his drone up, fly it around the property. You'll see his truck. And then later he'll cut away and he'll just be sitting there watching him back in. He'll be way up in the sky, just sitting there not moving, filming him back in. And then he brings it down and lands it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So what's the issue with?
He's got his Part 107 now because
that I don't know, and I'm not going to ask him in an open post. That's between him and the government.
Yep. So what's wrong with the Argon? You find with the Argon box there, Zolan? What's the issue with your Argon?
The fact it does not turn back on if the power goes out.
Okay, because of that on-off, that soft on-off. Yeah. But apart from that, there's no. Yeah, they're a nice design. Oh, doggies. What would they do if they caught it?
So we had one here who's no longer here. He's living with somebody else now. He would actually catch it and bring it to me. I got we got one here. I haven't ran the dogs that way in a long time because our oldest one is having issues and he will not sit idle if I have the drone out.
He wants to chase it. Yeah.
And he'd probably break it and then bring it to me.
Yeah, sure.
But they're just chasing the drone, or you got something on the drone, or they're just chasing the drone.
They're just chasing the drone.
I'm running Nightbot Show'em in the background. I see we retracted a message, but I never seen one pop up to approve or refuse, so I don't know. I'm not sure which comment that didn't pop up that you typed.
Yeah, this drone is a little one. It's only got 2.5-inch props. So it's a little bit bigger than the palm of my hand, and well, I'm a big guy, so that doesn't do much.
Take care, Stu. Show them. Have a good night.
Cheers, Stu.
Take care.
Yeah, there is an auto filter. Yeah, the message that retracted was what are the dogs going to be raised for, or was that a manual retraction?
Pets, show dogs, working dogs. It all over the spectrum. But I don't understand why he retracted that message, but okay.
He may not have. He said some seemed to have been retracted automatically, so might have flagged it, pulled it for some reason, just on the. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see the comment, but I am running Nightbot, but I didn't notice anything pop up. And then everybody that's a mod would have seen it. whatever it was. I don't see it.
No, I'm
All I
seeing it
see
on
is
the
message.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's retracted, but it's not retracted under the comments on StreamYard.
Ah, yep, you're right. There it is in StreamYard.
Yep. So I'm not too sure if that's a Nightbot thing for some reason, because Nightbot does some strange things sometimes on what it looks for.
Yeah, usually Nightbot will pop up and it'll say show or hide, and I didn't see anything pop up today.
No,
Yeah,
so I don't know if
either he probably retracted it himself.
it might have been another one. It might have been another one that didn't show up. Yeah.
No biggie.
No biggie at
That's
all.
all good. All good.
Anyways, well, I'm gonna probably get out of here myself. You're 5 minutes anyways till end.
Yep. That's it.
Jerry,
thank
have
you
a
very
good
much
weekend.
for on.
Yeah,
you
you
too,
look after yourself too,
man.
Zolon, and take it easy with those alternators, will you?
Yeah, well, tomorrow is the I gotta rip into the van, clean the condenser, basically parts of the AC unit need to be cleaned out, and unfortunately, one of them might require disassembling the whole dash.
To get them behind it, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got
a
a heater in mine that requires that. The heater's got a leak in it.
Well,
so
can you take an air compressor and blow out your vents and stuff? If that's the problem.
So they put one of the condensing coils in line of the vents inside the dash. And this van hauls dogs, so it's probably caked with dog hair.
Yeah, okay.
So, because right now our AC unit, it blows, as in, the air comes out, but it's nowhere near as much as it used to be.
So you build up somewhere.
Right. And, it used to be to the point where my wife would have to wear a jacket. And now it's like barely keeping up. Whoa, that looked like your print was moving around on the bed on its own.
No, it's working fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a live stream a couple weeks ago. My CR10 Max behind me. When I quit the live stream and turned around, I got like 25 feet of film going everywhere. And I'm thinking,
no one
nobody
noticed.
In the stream. I haven't watched the stream yet, but it's something you would have been able to see on camera happen. I didn't notice it.
No one else did either. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but thank you very much for joining, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching and coming by and liking, subscribing. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much to Gene Gamble for the $125 and to Steve L for the $25. I'll put that towards a pro version of StreamYard, and I'll see what I get worked out on that we can do 1080p each and every week. But
yeah, because with that 30 frames instead of 60, it's a lot better. So that's good.
Yeah. But thank you very much, everybody. You guys have a great night. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you next time. Take care and have a great day.
Stay safe, Jerry. Cheers,
Bye-bye.
Owen.